Rise and shine, Nigeria. Good morning and welcome to S24 Morning Digest, your trusted breakfast program coming to you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. My name is Gloria Atta and I will be your host for today. Over the next 3 hours, we'll take you through the conversations that matter and the issues that you need to be aware about. We have so much coming your way today. Just stay with us as our newspaper review comes up after the break. Welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, this is S24 Morning Digest coming to you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. And I will be your host for today. It's now time for our newspaper review. What are the headlines saying? What stories matter? And what is the way forward? Of course, I won't be asking and answering these questions alone because my colleague Abubakar Turaki is here with me. Good morning, Abubakar.
Good morning.
Happy Friday to
Thank you so much.
TGIF.
It's Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday.
Yes, it's been a long week of analyzing issues.
Indeed. I pray Nigeria one day will be great so that everyone will do his own quota, will contribute his own quota.
Amen. Amen. That's the prayer. So let's quickly get into the business for today. And we're going to be starting with our first newspaper, the Daily Trust. And it says BUK students arraigned for tarnishing EFCC image. Now, what exactly did the BUK students do? We just want you to give us more insight on that.
I'm begin to wonder because I am yet to understand, does EFCC have the right and permission to prosecute someone that defined, because there is what we call defamation of character.
Yes.
So sometimes I think maybe I need to go back to school and study law so that I can understand more broader perspective about Nigerians' laws, rules, and regulation. The lady is 19 years old, Mariam Shehu, who is a student of Bayero University, Kano, and a final year student for that matter. Subsequently, somewhere around June, she went ahead and made a post in her own IG handle, accusing one of the staff member of the Economics and Financial Crimes Commission of extorting someone, Usman Ahmad, the sum of almost 20 million naira. And subsequently, whatever you are doing, the world is actually watching you.
Yes.
And you may think that you are just doing certain things and the world is not watching you until when you step on a toe, you will know the difference between white and black. But part of the things while the EFCC are prosecuting Mariam is just because she couldn't give some factual evidence that she has been accusing one of the staff members of the commission of extorting Ahmed Usman. And they sent her to Suleja Correctional Center for almost 30 days. And it was recently we just came across Abba Hikima, one of the legal experts in Kano, making the rounds around the headline saying that the EFCC have detained Maria for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
And what baffled me much as someone that has passion on education, Maria, she's about to write her own final exams. And now they have been deprived her from writing her own examination. So what is this thing is telling to our own judicial system? The practical aspect of this is that if the likes of Mariam can be brought to book and be apprehended, then what happened to the likes of Adu Alero? Then what happened to the likes of bandits and criminals? Because one of the duty and responsibility of EFCC is the illicit and even naira mutilation, to take good care of financial irregularities and financial activity that is currently going on in this country. But we have came across videos of those bandits and criminals. They will just be coming TikToking online, mutilating our currency, showcasing huge amount of money. Why is the EFCC yet to at least bring them into book? Because ever since the inception of the EFCC, that was during Olusegun Obasanjo, who is the pioneer chairman of EFCC, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, who is now the current national security advisor of Nigeria. There has been an accusation. A lot of Nigerians, a lot of analysts, and a lot of people have accused the EFCC of being a toothless bulldog. which is an accusation, is an allegedly. They are alleging the EFCC is a toothless bulldog, and they sometimes accuse the EFCC of being sentimental and biased when it comes to arrest and apprehension.
Yeah.
Because if I gave you a scenario that happened according to Usman Yusuf, professor, former NHI boss, he made me mention clear that especially anytime the EFCC come in board, they used to have a kind of what we call selective judgment. If you are not in the power, they will go after you. But if you are with them, you have what we call political asylum. We knew what happened when the likes of Magu was the chair of EFCC. We saw how former national security advisor Sambo Suki was being detained. And even so recently, we saw how the detention of the likes of Godwin MFLA went up to this material time. Some people are MFLA is still under the custody. And also recently, under the leadership of President Tinubu, we saw the likes of Abubakar Malami, how they have been detained by the EFCC for sometimes. And we even saw the likes of Malan Nasir Erufai of Kaduna State, how he has been going back and forth with the anti-graft agency, especially the ICPC. Yeah. And apart from that, if you can even reflect back to the moment when Ibrahim Lamurde was there as the chairman of EFCC before Farida Waziri, and many more. A lot of people are alleging and even accusing the EFCC of not doing what it is supposed to do. And remember, these are the likes of people that have the likes of Beta Edu, the likes of Halima Shehu, that they are still with the government and they are moving freely. And these are the people that they are yet to do anything possible, at least to bring certain individual like the likes of former governor of Kano State, who we saw his own video in a broad daylight perpetuating some evil. And these are the commission that are yet to bring the likes of Yaya Bello of Kogi State. But we have to give kudos to EFCC, what they were able to at least apprehend, and even the former Minister of Power, Saleh Mamman. They are doing a lot, but especially that innocent girl. I think the EFCC should at least try and at least give her the room to go back and write her own exams, even though it's a crime, because according to section 22, 23, and 24 of Criminal Act of cyber crime, what she did is actually
24.
Section 24. What she did actually was just a kind of a crime, and she's an adult. She's more than 9. She's almost somewhere around 19 years old. So I think what we are after, we still have a huge task to play, especially in addressing the matter of cyberbullying, the matter of corruption, and the matter of what we call extortion and even sex crime, online crime, sorry.
So now there are already comments here and there saying that there is selective justice, because we can see how swiftly the case has progressed. She's currently undergoing trial. She's already in court.
Under Justice Abdul Malik, Joyce Abdul Malik.
Yes, and she spent 30 days in custody before that. And you've done justice by taking us through a lot of anti-corruption trials that have lingered for years. There are even some that right now Nigerians have even forgotten about
them.
So this begs one to wonder that, is there selective justice? Is justice only justice when the poor is being involved, or justice is something that should cut across board?
I know no matter how I'll try to at least factualize how some of the anti-graft agency are being selective and biased, because Nigerians are out there. Nigerians are out there looking every day the way they are carrying out their own selective judgment and biased judgment, especially to those that are from the opposition. Now look at the likes of Nasir El-Rufai. Nasir El-Rufai have been in detention for almost how many days now? For almost over 300 days. Or thereabout. But what happens to the likes of Yaya Bello up to this material time?
So now,
recently, let me refer back to what Nasiru and Nuhu Ribado made it clear. When Nuhu Ribado went into the floor of the House of Assembly for his own screening, he said that, I am here to answer your call as the next EFCC chairman, but I knew that a lot of people here are what we call, I forgot the tweet. I have the tweet if I can check it. That was, I think, 2000, was it 2000? During Obasanjo, when was appointed as the chair of the EFCC, he said that most of you sitting here are a bunch of thieves. He accused them. And this is coming from Nuri Bado. But do you know that what happened after almost 20 years? One of them is now, one of them among the people that he accused, one of them is now the Senate president. One of them is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And one of them is the national security advisor. So what happen if those people that are in the position of authority will just try and at least cover up, and when they came into power, they will just what we call how will I put it? They will seem to forget most of their own corruption cases. I could remember there is an allegation during the terms of President Muhammadu Buhari, a governor from my state was accused of looting almost, I think, is it 40 billion or 20 billion naira? And he wanted to go head to head with the then Senate president of the Ninth Assembly. And he was able to withdraw his own race. And that moment, that case have actually vanished. What type of selective judgment are we doing in this country? But if the likes of Mariam or if the likes of sugarcane seller will thief the national treasury, and you will just see them prosecuting him and sending him to Kuje, sending him to Suleja, sending him to Kirikiri, where are we going to? I think the anti-graft agency need to double their own effort. We made mention of some suggestions as Nigerians.
Yeah, bless you.
Thank you. As Nigerians, that the appointment of every chair of any anti-graft agency should at least be taken out from the presidency.
Yeah.
Because for as long as the presidency will continue to at least appoint the chair of the EFCC, ICPC, Court of Beru, and other anti-graft agencies that have the responsibility of fighting corruption, I doubt if we are going to have a free and fair corruption trial that is 100 over 100. I even made it clear, if you can remember, I don't want to sound pessimistic sometimes, but based on the nature on how things are going in this country, sometimes you need to wonder, because I came across a lot of narration, a lot of analysis. Some of the analysts are even saying that Nigeria is gone. But with the little optimism I have, I so much believe that Nigeria, there is always hope, there is always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
because if you remember the likes of Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, how he was able to transform Lee Kuan Yew from third world country to a first world country. And if you remember the likes of Dr. Mahathir of Malaysia, he was able to transform Malaysia. And if you also remember the likes of Paul Kagame of Rwanda, he was able to at least transform Rwanda. Even recently, the likes of Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia, they were doing fantastically great. But where are we finding it wrong as Nigerian?
So now, how do we now, situations like this, what do they say about, freedom of expression? Are Nigerians truly free to express themselves on social media? Because having an anti-graft agency pick up on somebody who is, of course, an allegation, putting up an allegation. First off, do you think it is even proper for them to be attending to such allegations on social media? And how do you think this would also impact on people moving forward? The freedom of expression or the right to come out on social media to say certain things.
Yeah, I so much believe that it is going to be an impact, because one of the major reasons why the FCC reacted swiftly, it was the Marian actually accused one of their own official, especially to a person like a director, and they have to come out and at least let the world knew that, and especially what we call the hunter became haunted. Those that are saddled with the responsibility of at least arresting corrupt officials, and here Mariam is accusing their own official of collecting the sum of 20 million. I think this is something to be worried, because maybe they wanted to make it clear that their own official, they are sent, which I don't believe if there is anybody that is sent in this country, especially when it comes to financial entrustment.
Yeah, so
what they did, but if to say that Mariam now have accused maybe somebody that does not have much relevance, they may likely not even listen to her, because I begin to understand some of the agencies in this country and some of the people in this country is only when you actually blackmail a high-profile person in this country that they will begin to at least try and bring you into book. Yeah. But now if you say that this is a kind of like a disagreement between myself and Mariam, I don't think if they will be able to listen to her, despite the fact that maybe all the accusations she will pour on me, maybe people will just see it and move. And also what I want people to understand, especially this Gen Z, maybe there is an undertone. We are yet to hear from Mariam what she did that. Is it that she wanted to do that? Because there is what we call Gen Z syndrome. I recently came across a video you posted in your page. A lady addressing somebody that is even elderly enough to be her daddy with his name directly without even giving his own kind of like respect.
Yes.
We are in
the
Africa.
video
Africa
trending
is a
right
country
now.
that has culture. Africa is a country that has ethics. Africa is a country that has the respect of elderly people and the sympathy and the love of the younger ones.
All right, so let's quickly go on a short break, and when we come back, the conversation continues. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, this is S24 Morning Digest, and this is our newspaper review. Before we went on the break, we were talking about a student of the Bayero University, Kano, who is currently facing trial because of an accusation she made, a post she made accusing an official of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, of corruption. And, we're talking about how you were talking about how the Gen Z syndrome.
Well, I'm also among the Gen Z now.
Yes,
Clock
it. How this might come to play. So, indeed, I also agree with you that we all are actually waiting right now to hear from her and know because they say there's no smoke without fire. So, for her to consistently make that kind of comment on social media, probably she has something solid or tangible, and if not, she'll go to jail, because the level at which people want relevance, people want social media relevance these days, is quite alarming. People can make up all sorts of stories just to be relevant on social media.
I think I was with you, was it day before yesterday, when we just stumbled across a video of a lady that was being brutalized by her own husband. Can you remember the video? Do you know that was just a fake video?
Yeah.
I recently confirmed the video that it was just a fake. She was just an ordinary content creator.
Yes.
And now look at the level of society we are. People are even using their own, people want to go viral at all costs.
Yes.
And I begin to wonder the level of education that Mariam has as a final year student. I believe she needs to know that there's a repercussion in accusing some of the powerful government agencies. If truly what Mariam said is true, well, they have tabled the matter into the court now. Maybe she will go there and at least bring her own factual evidence to back what she said. But if Mariam, I even told you yesterday when the campaign started, someone, 80,000 naira was given to one young Nigerian to go out and at least sell the ideology of one of the political parties. And he even made it clear that if you have a better offer, he will dump that party A and go back to party B. And you know how most of the social media are now being monetized. With one unforeseen shenanigan, maybe you just start making huge amount of money,
thousands of dollars.
And maybe this is a wake-up call to them. And I also want the students to understand that this is the battle for the SUG, Student Representative Government, and even NANS, National Association of Nigerian Students, to come into the table and at least try and address, because losing a brilliant lady like Mariam, a final year student who has the ambition of becoming maybe the next first lady or the next engineer, for her to lose that final year examination is something that we cannot at least try and just look at it, because she is being accused, and despite the fact the accusation, the matter is in court. So now she'll find a way of coming out at least to defend her own student in a very legal manner. And secondly, we are urging the leadership of Bayero University, Kano, to please consider giving her exams back so that she can at least write her own exams.
Well,
being tried by the judicial court does not mean that's the end.
Yes, well,
we knew even in this country, we had our own
out.
president that went to prison, and after he came out from the prison, he ruled this country for 8 years.
Yes,
that was Olusegun Obasanjo.
So hopefully we see, and hopefully too, she's found innocent at the end of the day, or we hope to see how that case will pan out. So next, we are moving to another topic, and we'll be talking about fuel subsidy, one of Abubakar's most favorite discussions on this table. Now, Articles fuel subsidy pledge sparked debate, and this is still coming from the Daily Trust newspaper. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's pledge to restore fuel subsidy has reopened the long-running debate that around Nigeria's subsidy removal, and it begs a lot of questions. Nigerians are asking, and I am also asking Abubakar, with this statement, is subsidy removal sustainable, or is subsidizing petrol necessary to protect Nigerians?
One of the primary responsibility of every democratic, gerontocratic, aristocratic, and even kakistocratic government is the provision of, is the protection and provision of social amenities to its people.
Yeah.
I'm not a student of economic, and I don't know much about Nigerian economy. I'm a student of governance and politics, but all what I am after, as someone that you came out and begged, it is your duty and responsibility to provide all what it takes for Nigerians. Yesterday, you made mention it clear that in some of the places, maybe like places like America, they have not been subsidizing most of their things subsidizing things for their own citizens. Do you know that America, if you are jobless, you are not you are not working. Do you know that there are certain incentives that the government of America used to give it to all citizens?
Yes.
For them to keep the body and soul alive.
Yes.
So recently, today is 22nd August, and I told you, ever since INEC declared the official campaign of 2027 open, you will see a lot of shenanigans from the politician. I think maybe if Kia is not taken among the presidential candidate, one of them will even come out and say he's going to eliminate Boko Haram within 2 weeks. These are all campaign slogans that we have still. I recently came across a video of Moshood Abiola. That was the June 12th election that happened. There was a song, I think that was during then. Those politicians of the Fourth Republic, of the Third Republic, were chanting that they are going to address the problem of the economy, insecurity, and also electricity. And I also came across one of the daily national dailies, Gaskiya Tafi Kobo, when Shagari wanted to be the president. Shagari was campaigning that he's going to address the problem of electricity, power sector. That was then. And up to this material time, none of the issues has been addressed. Now, if I ask you, I'm going to ask Nigerians, is our power sector working 247? Is our education sector working 247? And is our own health and judicial sector working 247? So what have the 1999 politician, the Fourth Republic politician, achieved so far? Atiku Abubakar saying that he's going to bring back the fuel subsidy. Well, congratulations, Mr. Former Vice President. It's good if you can bring back the fuel subsidy, because some Nigerians like me are so much of the belief that the subsidy is very, very important to us, because I find it difficult to understand. Before, I used to buy fuel and fill my tank at the rate of maybe 7,000, 8,000, and 9,000 naira, depending on which of the fuel station I patronize. But now it has to take me to almost 45,000 or 40,000 naira. And the same Nigeria, and my purchasing power did not increase.
Yes.
And they have been saying that from June, that was when they removed the subsidy, to December 2025, they saved somewhere around 15 trillion naira was saved from the government coffers. So have the life of a common Nigerian changed? Have they impact any positively on the life of Nigerians? Go out and see how Nigerians are dying instantly. Go out and see how Nigerians are suffering. Go out and see how, whenever you're going out, if you're going to the nearest filling station, you just go there, you take a huge amount of money to buy fuel. A fuel that would not even last you for at least good 1 week. Is that not a blind statement? You will just assume the mantle of leadership without even entering into office. You just make that blind statement, and here other people are still calling that decision was their best decision.
Well, now, when it comes to the issue of, the fuel subsidy removal, I would like to also go back to the comments that I made yesterday or a few days back. Again, I say that when it comes to the issue of fuel subsidy removal, I believe that the conversation should be more that, now that you've removed it, what have you done? And you made a very valid point by giving examples to developed nations, which is what I also did the day I gave my analysis. When you say you've removed this, let us see other benefits and let people enjoy in other areas. If that was the situation here, I'm sure a lot of Nigerians would have moved on from the fact that it was removed. But you removing it is just like telling a child, now you say, you say don't eat bread because bread is bad for you. If you are collecting bread from my hand, I'm expecting you to give me maybe a plate of rice
Or pizza.
Or something that you think is a healthier option. But you shouldn't collect bread from my hand and then give me one stick of sweet, or you give me, I don't even know what I'll use, or you give me a grain of rice or a spoon of rice and you collect a bowl of rice from me. There is no way I will not cry. So I think that is where a lot of Nigerians keep coming from.
Recently, one of my colleagues shared a video with me.
Yes.
They went to, I think, State House. You remove subsidy, but most of your branded campaign vehicle are G-Wagon, latest Mercedes-Benz. You remove subsidy, but we have a governors that have a convoy of 20 cars. Talk less of Nigerian president that has a convoy of only God knows the level of entourage he has. You remove subsidy, but Nigerians are still battling. You remove subsidy, but you are now in. Do you know that under the administration of Tinubu is the giant government we have? I think because we have more than almost 50 ministries.
Yeah.
More than 50 ministries, talk less of state ministers and even senior minister and even state minister.
Now, do you even think that the former president's statement,
Atiku.
yes, Atiku Abubakar, do you think that his statement is genuine, or is just one of those political shenanigans, as you call them?
No, this is, I don't want to speak on behalf of Atiku Abubakar because I always love to refer back to history. Erufai in his book Accidental Public Servant, when Atiku was among the one of the powerful vice presidents that Nigeria have ever witnessed.
Yeah.
If not just because of what happened, Atiku Abubakar could have not allowed Olusegun Obasanjo to come back for the second tenure. And even when Olusegun Obasanjo came up with the idea of third term, Atiku Abubakar was one of the people that even went against the proposal of third term by Olusegun Obasanjo. And Atiku Abubakar got the opportunity and upper hand to chair most of the committee that even led to the privatization and commercialization of most of Nigerian assets. So Atiku Abubakar is one of the powerful vice president Nigeria have. And what happened during their own time? They knew that sooner or later something like that may likely happen. As a vice president, whenever the president is not in the country, you are the alpha and omega. We saw when Osinbajo, when he was the vice president, when Buhari was not in Nigeria, when Osinbajo went ahead and sacked the former DG of DSS, Lawal Daura, and up to this material time, nothing happened. We saw a lot of things that were being executed under the office of the vice president. So what happened at Atiku Abubakar? You know that in the nearest future, the issue of subsidy, the government may likely remove it. So what happened during your own time? What have you not made initiative that will at least salvage the problem if the removal of subsidy have been actualized by any of the government? First, I'm asking him. And secondly, even Sowore, the AA presidential flag bearer, said that he's going to bring back the subsidy. Even I think maybe the likes of the presidential flag bearer of the SDP, PDP, have you not remember the presidential candidate of the APM, Makinde? He also made it clear that they are going to consider something like subsidy restoration. They knew that where exactly Nigerians are falling back. And they knew that where exactly Nigerians are finding it difficult. Before, we are buying fuel at the rate of 97 naira. And now look at it. We are buying fuel at the rate of almost 1,300 naira. Where is the rationale behind that?
There's a very huge difference. And that's where I was going to that. You know, this pledge now to restore fuel subsidy is going to be a major political campaign tool.
Okay, it's not tool. Let me use a word that is trying to sound more scientific. A political campaign gimmick.
A political campaign gimmick, if you might call it. A lot of political parties right now, as you've rightly said, we can already see them taking that
dimension,
that route, and we hear them saying this. So we know this is going to have a lot of impact come 2027. So what are your expectations? Because now these people, you've rightly said, they've been able to identify an area that really, really hurts a lot of Nigerians. Not even a lot, virtually all Nigerians, because there is nobody that is not feeling the impact of fuel subsidy removal. So come 2027, what should we be expecting?
I think we have reached a stage where we will be more more politically inclined and more politically aware and socialized. If I was in attendance when Atiku Abubakar made that statement, we are going to go and bring a competent people from any of the competent jurisdiction of the law. Atiku Abubakar should come and, and have a kind of like an agreement with his own signature and third person signature that Mr. Vice President, if Nigerians give you the opportunity, remember on the 28th of August, you made mention clear in Guzape that you are going to restore back the subsidy. Yes, Atiku should sign. The other person, the witness, should also sign, and we are going to take it to one of the competent judges or court. They should also sign. Atiku should have a copy. We should have a copy, and Nigerians should have a copy. And let him understand that if he fails to do that, that is going to be the end of his own tenure. Do you know that the National House of Assembly have the right to impeach the president if the president found guilty of committing some of crimes?
But our own National Assembly, they are all together.
Well, but I have to give kudos to the National Assembly of Gali Umar Naabba. That was during the second tenure of Obasanjo. They initiated what we call impeachment process. These are the likes of Senator Mantu. When we know the likes of it was that very moment when Nigerians call what we call politics of Ghana must go. At the Hello Chamber, you just see some Ghana must go flowing. I think if we want to have a insightful and detailed knowledge about that, I think our viewers should go back to a book written by Sam Indaya Elisha. I think the name of the book is Nigeria and Its Icon. I forgot the name of the book. He made it clear, and also in Tony Anini, one of the Tony Anini publication, I think from the Aso Villa, Tony Anini publication. That was when we saw the likes of Ibrahim Mantu, we saw the likes of Gali Umar Naabba when they were trying to at least initiate an impeachment process. They want to impeach the then President Olusegun Obasanjo. But it faltered, it couldn't see the light of the day. And also, what with the impeachment we see from the State House of Assembly, we saw the likes of Governor Ale Mesia, who was impeached. We saw the likes of Governor Balarabe Musa of Kaduna State, who was also impeached. We also saw the likes of Governor Murtala Inyako of Adamawa, who was also politically impeached. And recently, we saw the likes of Governor Fuwara, who was suspended by the members of the House of the Rivers House of Assembly. But for as long as you made that statement that you are going to restore back the fuel subsidy, well, on your vote, I think Nigerians will get sympathy. And if you truly that you are going to accelerate the subsidy restoration, Nigerians are out there, they will give massive and what we call protest vote to any candidate that want to actualize that. Because I find it difficult to understand. Before, Nigerians were able to afford 3 square meal a day. Nigerians were able to afford at least certain things. But before right now, most of people that have car, they don't used to go to anywhere with their car. It's only when they are going out for office or any official engagement. Sometimes it's even more cheaper.
To church or going to mosque.
Sometimes it's even more cheaper to patronize commercial cars, public transport, than even using your own car.
Now, I know you are not an economic expert,
of
so
course.
I don't want to go deeply into the fiscal reforms. However, I could just quickly refer you to a statement that the World Bank has said. The World Bank says the removal of petrol subsidy has, in quote, created an opportunity for Nigeria to improve its fiscal position and sustain economic reforms. And because of that, experts say that reintroducing the subsidy could reverse some of those gains. Now, they say that the major issue isn't whether subsidy is bad, but it is whether Nigeria can afford to sustain it. And they also go further to say if the government restores subsidy without a reliable source of funding, it could mean increased borrowing to what we already have. It could mean reduced government spending elsewhere or accumulation of subsidy arrears. Now, this is what a lot of analysts keep saying. And if you know the kind of look Abubakar is giving me right Abubakar is giving me right now. But we keep seeing all of these things. We keep hearing financial analysts saying that removal of fuel subsidy or restoring it back is going to bring more harm than what we currently see. But then Nigerians are not feeling it. In fact, we are in more pains now. So it's just like it's a contrast. And I would really hope that in the nearest future, we can get an economic analyst to probably come here and school us better.
Of
because
course,
we don't
I
seem
think
to
by next week we are going to at least
understand
maybe
what is
try our
happening.
best to bring an economic analyst.
Yeah.
But remember, let me take you back to what Christine Lagarde said. Christine Lagarde, she's among the IMF and World Bank staff. When they wanted to propose some solution to the economy of America, I forgot the name of the secretary that even sent a rejoinder that who is Christine Lagarde to come and interfere into American economy. So at this moment,
let's go on a quick break. Sorry, I have to cut you short. When we come back, this conversation will continue. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. This is still Newspaper Review on S24 Morning Digest. And we've been having a very interesting conversation. Nigeria's former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, is promising Nigerians that he's going to reverse this current economy, is going to restore back subsidy if he's elected come 2027. And that is what me and my colleague Abubakar Turaki have been trying to analyze. So please go on.
Of course, I want
analysis.
our leaders to critically and as a matter of urgency understand that there's what we call neocolonialism.
Yes.
Those Western people, they will never and never allow us to at least understand even where we are heading to. Because the moment Nigeria pick it up, that is the peak of development in most of the 54 African states.
Yes.
And the moment Nigeria tried to have the best institution, workable institution, stronger institution that are even stronger than most of the individual, that is the moment when their level of economy will go down, the level of tourism will go down, because once if we have a workable healthcare system,
the medical tourism we do,
who will go there?
The education tourism we do,
and who will go there?
Of that, yes.
And do you know that most of them, their economy is actually tied to our own airport?
Yes, yes.
Because they came here, we export things for them. I yesterday came across a video of cocoa. I think, I forgot the state. They have been like cultivating and farming that cocoa in a huge volume number of, they're having a kind of like positive yields at the end of the farming, at the end of the rainy season. And most of the times, they are not even using 1/3 of it. They are exporting it. So World Bank will always come, and IMF will always come with such fallacy, saying that subsidy is good, the removal of subsidy is good. Is the removal of subsidy good that Nigerians are now crying? Nigerians are now dying instantly. Nigerians cannot afford to eat a 3 square meal a day. Nigerians cannot afford to at least cater for a nutritious meal 3 times a day. Is the removal of subsidy that Nigerians now are always begging? If I open my inbox to you, many people are sending you account numbers.
Honestly, it's something we need to talk about.
And recently came across a video of Abdul Mumin Jibril, person that is representing Kiru and Bebeji, Federal House of Assembly from Kano State, saying that it has always been bad. Since the time of Awolo, people are saying that Nigerians are hungry. The time of Abacha, people are saying that Nigerians are hungry and agree. The times of Olusegun, the times of Buhari, the times of Eradua, even the times of Jonathan's, Nigerians are hungry. So Nigerians should always find a way of at least doubling it up so that they can go with the economic situation. But remember, during that very moment where Nigerians impoverished that the way Nigerians are now,
they want to turn us to managers. They keep telling us to manage and manage and manage.
We cannot manage. For as long as we will continue to practice democracy, we will continue to hold them accountable.
Yes,
we don't need anything.
Rights.
We don't need the flyovers they are constructing. We don't need the state police they are trying to do. All while we are after, because you have to at least eat, survive, before you even enjoy the basics amenities that the government is constructing. I recently saw a report from the chairman of the Nigeria Revenue Services saying that President Tinubu is going to work he's going to work without using his own vehicle. He even saying that President Tinubu is just eating 1 square meal a day.
Well,
what are the sort of leaders do we have? Do our Nigerian leaders think that Nigerians are gullible?
at this point, you've rightly said it, that there is nothing we are not going to hear this season. There is no statements we are not going
Well,
to hear
if
as
the
the
government can
elections
bring back subsidy to Nigerians,
proceed.
I think Nigerians will appreciate to best of my ability and to the best of my understanding, because I find it difficult to understand while other people are enjoying, while other people are suffering. Is it just because we are in Abuja, we are not seeing how people are going, how people are dying instantly?
Even in Abuja here, it is no longer funny. The level of corporate begging, the level of, we would always joke about the popular spot here where you see workers of the night. You see if you go there, the number of people you see
They're increasing
standing,
every
it's
day.
increasing, and it's very saddening,
Of
because
course.
when you get to interact with these people, some of them are educated,
Of
they went to
course.
school, they are graduates, but because of
Some
the
weak
situation of
policies.
things, yes, some weak policies and whatever, they can no longer afford to they cannot afford
To cope.
with the current reality, so they have to do all of that. Some of them are even 9 to 5 workers. Some of them
Yeah,
go
of
to
course.
works to they work in certain places close by 5, and then you see them with their bags going to do another job in the evening.
Well,
It's very, very saddening,
I'm an
actually.
eyewitness. I think even recently on Tuesday, I was somewhere around that axis. I saw the level of how it's like every day they are increasing there. This is to tell you, like, the level of poverty is increasing day by day.
Well,
And we have governments.
I understand.
I think our
I know these
governments need to do
realities.
more. But sometimes we seems to forget the primary responsibility of our councillor, local government chairman, our state member, House of Assembly, and even our governor, or even federal House of Assembly members, our then the president. The burden is too much to the federal government alone. But if we can come and become united and fight the monster of what is currently affecting the problem in this country, the fuel subsidy, I believe we are going to at least win it. Because remember when Jonathan wanted to remove subsidy, we saw how they have been campaigning and even protesting within the street of Abuja with a placard saying that bring back our subsidy. We saw the likes
Yes.
of Mehmet Abuni was there, the likes of Muhammadu Buhari was there, the likes
Even
of
our current
Atiku, Achimechi,
president.
even president was also in attendance. So is it just because now they have benefited from that and they even went and deceived the gullible Nigerians, and now Atiku has the right to speak, and even not Atiku, so they also have the right to campaign for as long as they are going to win the votes of Nigerians. Well, we're in a democratic dispensation, but what they have to do that is they should remember whatever they promise, they should try and at least fulfill the promise. Because if they
Yes.
think 2027 is okay, they will win, then they should remember 2031 is another set of election that is currently coming
All right.
on.
So, it's not about promises, just like you've rightly said. It is about living up to expectation. Now, because of time, we are moving to our next paper. We'll be looking at The Guardian. And on the front page, it says APC stakeholders bicker over leadership failures, blame party divisions for Oshun defeat. Now, Oshun is still back on the news. What does this blame game within the APC over its Oshun defeat reveal about the state of the party's leadership?
That is to say, the party is in crisis. The party is in shamble.
Yeah.
And the party may likely consider a huge blow if they did not fail to at least put their house in order.
Yes.
We saw how they were able to deploy military might, 15,000 armed policemen.
Personnel, yes.
We saw the likes of Governor Sunday Okpebelo, who was there. We even saw the likes of many governors. I think I came across a report saying that it was almost, is it 19 to 20 state governors were there in attendance. But the Osun people proved them wrong, stating that for as long as people are going to be united and there is no one, they are not going to be defeated. If you remember, even the APC, when they came on board in 2015, they defeated an incumbent government of the PDP.
Yes.
Because ever since APC concluded their own party primaries, I knew that something like that may likely happen. Because this is the political party that it is expected to at least deliver the best and give the best to Nigerians people.
Yeah.
But this is the political party that continue to witness rancor and internal party conflicts. Remember, this is the political party that went ahead and screened a 15-year-old boy, Muhammad Sudais, Abung Al-Ajabin Zazzau. And these are the people that are always calling on Nigerians to give us another opportunity beyond 2027. then what does the Osun election say? They have to accuse them, because we even saw how Minister of Marine, Minister Oyetola,
Yeah.
is among the underperforming ministers based on the reports we saw online. Minister Oyetola.
Yes.
And we recently saw how they have been saying that they are going to snatch the seat from the dancing governor. Is that the primary responsibility of the stakeholders? And we even saw recently, I saw that it was a kind of like, even though the A party came out and debunked that, part of the major reason why APC was defeated, the candidate of the ADC party and the candidate of the A party were just trying to at least deliver the Osun State to Governor Adeleke, even though they made that clear and said that no, it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
But what happened? With the way APC government is bringing some policies that are not factual and feasible to Nigerians, and with the way APC government is bringing some of the policies that are not even realistic, with the way under the government of APC insecurity is now becoming at its peak. You know, the southern western part of the country, you cannot play with their own intelligence. We saw how Governor Sheyi Makinde have been going up and down when those children were unadopted. That is to tell you, APC may likely win some of the northern states, but in 2027, most of the southern states, they have to vote for a party that has a good scorecard.
Yeah. So now, this also makes us to wonder that this internal divisions we are seeing, how would it also affect the APC's activities together as a party come 2027? Because we already know the election campaigns have kicked off and time is running out. So if they cannot put their house in order now, how do we expect them to come together and deliver the seats, deliver the states to the presidency and ensure that this government continues beyond this very time?
I so much don't like to have a kind of like to witness an internal division among the ruling party, because the stability of the ruling party is the stability of Nigerian citizens.
Yes.
Because this is the political party that is leading, and this is the political party that is in power. So any destabilization will destabilize the effective performance of those that are in the position of leadership. So the only way APC, what did you ask? Like,
how is it going to affect their coming together come 2027?
It will, because for as long as their house is not in order, then you may likely find them in one of the courtrooms. Because I made it clear that the 2027 elections, most of the election that is going to happen, they are going to be settled in courtrooms. Of course.
Why do you say that?
What happened in 2023 in Kano when Abba Kabir Yusuf was able to at least seek readiness via the courtroom may likely happen in most of the affected states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because this is the political party that went into party primaries, direct party primaries with at least 2 candidates, and many of them, they felt aggrieved because I am the one that emerged as the winner of the direct party primaries, and at the tail end, maybe somebody that is very, very close to someone in the APC, a certificate of return will be handed over to him as the person that will be the flag bearer of that political party. And at the end, you couldn't find yourself on the ballot. Then what is next? The next thing is for you to go into the courtroom to seek readiness. And at the end, a lot of people that you will see them winning election in 2027 may likely not be the people that will at least complete the tenure. Because there is a court cases a lot among the APC. And the only way for them is for them to call most of their own party members, because nobody is above the party. The political party is supreme. Even now, if the political party say that is going to sack the president, they have all right to do that, because the president is a member of the political party.
Yeah. So now, what steps can these parties now take to, reconcile themselves before it is too late? Because you've already said that you see us moving to the courtrooms a lot to settle some of these issues. So what steps can this party, or what steps can the APC now take to ensure that the divisions do not get to a point where their differences are irreconcilable?
They should find a way of compensating aggrieved members of their own party. I don't want to give them expo. Either by, if a person of a political party is being aggrieved, we know what is currently going on in this country. There is an allegation, massive flow of contract. We even saw the National Commission of Almajiri a body that is responsible for rehabilitating and even bringing back out of school children into school are
Yeah.
constructed roads. When the DG made it clear that it was a project incited by one of the members of the Federal House of Assembly,
Yeah.
the ruling party found a way of compensating most of their members, either by giving them appointments as PA, SA, or SSA, or either by giving them some of contracts to at least go out and carry out. Because all what is currently going on, they are all doing it for the sake of interest.
Yeah.
And after that interest, they are doing it for the sake of of money. For as long as maybe I am in the ballot and I was unable to at least have what it is expected, then I should just expected to go back if truly I want to represent my people. But everybody has his own interest. Everybody want to feel among. Everybody want to feel the siren. Everyone want to at least enjoy the entourage. 70 convoy, 60 convoy. That is why politics in Africa is becoming what we call business venture. And it is not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
And also, the ruling party should find a way of at least doing what it is supposed to be done. When this sugar again belongs to Mr. A, please give him. Do not deprive him because it is his right.
Yeah. So,
And if this belongs to Mr. B, give him. And when we have a kind of like altercation, find a way of calling them into order. What is your problem? This is my problem. Reconcile your problem and move on.
now, do you see other political parties, taking advantage of this situation to create a stronger opposition front come 2027?
Of course, we recently saw what happened in Osun State. If the ruling party, their house is not even is intact, do you think? Well, I don't want to predict, but they may likely win Osun. But we saw this is the party that has the likes of Senator Fadausi.
Yes.
That are even calling on people to at least do something if they see members of the other political party. And we recently saw what is currently a strong coalition that is currently going to take place, G100. We know that there are loopholes within the ruling party.
Yeah.
We know that there are aggrieved members within the ruling party. And subsequently, the same thing that happened in 2015, which is the same thing that is currently happening in the ruling party.
Yeah.
But the caliber of the president in 2015 differ from the caliber of the president in 2020, 2025, and 2027.
Yeah.
Because I recently shared with you a story that the presidency have asked the EFCC to channel most of the recovered looted funds to Nel Fund.
Yes, yes.
And it is coming at this critical moment because President Tinubu is a seasonal politician and he knows what it takes to at least find a way of winning the hearts of Nigerians. But Nigerians are out there to make judgment. So the only advantage that the ruling party will have is just because of the person within that the person that is occupying that office. But if to say that the caliber of people in 2015 are still the caliber of people within the ruling party now, I think the opposition party may likely find it on a platter of gold to win the 2027 election. But still, Nigerians are out there because I know that this election is going to be one of the most astonishing elections. We know we have the likes of Atiku Abubakar that has a running mate of Amechi, and we know we have the likes of Obi with Konkoso, and we also how we have the likes of President Tinubu and Kashim Shettima. These are three major contenders. The rest, like with due respect. But when it comes to biggest, these are the biggest contender. And we also know we have the likes of Sowore. We also have the likes of Donald Duke. We also have the likes of Sonny Ado of the PDP.
Speaking about Kwankwaso, did you see the video in Kano?
Of course, I felt very
burning
disenchanted
cars.
because politics is all about loyalty and politics is all about sacrifice and politics is all about mentorship and also godfatherism in African politics.
Yes.
And there has been an allegation because I came across people that are accusing one member that is representing Kano at the Federal House of Assembly. He was the one that engineered the burning of Konkosia Cap. Konkosia is an ideological movement in Kano that started during the time of Malam Aminu Kano and during the times of Malam Saadu Zunguru and the rest. And up to this material moment, as a concerned Nigerian, not a journalist, I think the Konkosia ideology have some element of ideological politics that we want because this is the ideology that is tilting its own ideology toward providing basic amenities to Nigeria.
Yes.
It is under Konkoso regime, when he was the governor of Kano State, we started witnessing massive foreign empowerment and scholarship. The child of a less privileged were being sponsored to go to Malaysia, Cairo, and most of the developed states to go and study. These are the kind of ideologies that we are expecting from politicians. But all what we have now, politicians, most of our own politicians, they lack ideology.
Yes.
And Abba himself, Konkoso played a vital role in the emergence of Abba Kabir Yusuf as the governor of Kano State.
Yes.
Remember, these are the people that started since when Abba was in his early 20s and late 20s. He worked with Abba. And Konkoso, this is the man that mentored the likes of Ganduje. And this is the man that mentored the likes of Abba Kabir Yusuf. And this is the man that mentored the likes of Abdul Mumin Kofa. And this is the man that mentored the likes of many young politicians. I doubt if they are going to discredit the popularity of Senator Rabiu Musa Konkoso. This is a man that he was a former Minister of Defense. He was actually the former governor of Kano State for almost for 8 years. He was a former senator. And now he's the running mate of Peter Obi. And you know the way obedient, they are having a kind of like this popularity, especially in the southern part of the country. Even though sometimes people say that Konkosia is a regional politician and also Peter Obi is a regional politician, I think the likes of Konkoso and Obi ticket is going to be a kind of like a nightmare to the ruling party.
Oh, okay. So, I don't want it to seem like we are campaigning for anybody.
No, we're not campaigning for anybody, but rather we're trying to at least analyze
the issues.
Remember, we even at least met it out how the Muslim ticket came on board. And even we also analyzed the strength and weakness of Obi, the strength and weakness of Atiku Abubakar and Amechi.
Yes.
And for us to sound very, very neutral, we have to analyze the strength of OK ticket.
Well.
Yeah.
Yes. So, one of the things we always say here is there are interesting times ahead. So we look forward to seeing how most of these activities pan out. And we'll always be here to talk about them and also refer back to previous discussions we had. So this concludes our newspaper review for today. Thank you so much, Abubakar.
I have a final
coming.
take.
Okay.
May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and have a lovely weekend.
Have a lovely weekend. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So that concludes today's newspaper review on S24 Morning Digest. Coming up next, we are taking the conversations beyond the studio and onto the streets where we hear the opinions of Nigerians on our Street Talk segment. And don't worry, we also have other interesting things packed for you, from Health 360 to top trends, and as well, all the latest from the world of sports on the sports desk. So like I said, there's plenty more ahead. So don't go anywhere. And if you need to snack, if you need to do anything while you watch us, please do. But for now, it's a goodbye from me and it's a goodbye from Abubakar. Have a wonderful weekend and keep watching S24 Television. Bye for now. Behind every keke or okada is a person trying to make a living. As the FCT moves to restrict the operations in some parts of Abuja, the question becomes, where do these people go when their source of income is taken? Let's find out.
No, I don't think so, because we don't have any buses around, especially commuting with income. I think the only way places I've seen buses are from national states down here in Abuja. But within Abuja here, I've not seen buses.
Well, for me, no, they have not. Far from it, no. They have not done anything. It's below 10%. So it's not a good idea.
I know my central never provide though. What are they providing? What I'm coming and provide? So that the CNG they bring say if you know come on time, you know go to enter. Before the room or something, don't know. No.
Okay. It's a good idea, yeah. But then, before you pull down the system, there should be another one that's gonna replace. So these people restricting them, this is what they do. This is what barely their basic and how they survive. And like the economy, it's a bit toxic. And taking up these guys off the street, most of the rural areas, the roads are not well developed. And then there are the Okada guys that will work with. So taking them off, some of them might go back to stealing, they might go back to standing by the roadside, vandalizing, and so on. So to me, I think there should be a system that can, as they're living this, there should be something that they can fall back into so they are not stranded, they don't become out to the community.
Yes, restricting them in some areas of Abuja, yes, is good. But before they do that, they should also provide adequate facilities, transportation facilities, to convert those from the rural area to the city or from the city back to the rural area. Because to be hard, but that is the livelihood of survival.
Yes, now. And before government will push, go remove Keke and waiting for this our FCT. It's also bring something that will make them have money. When they bring other things, they give them money because they get family, they pay rent, they pay school fees, they eat. So before government will think of removing Keke and bike, when they find something else, they will bring. Else, even the two that will kidnap government too. So the kidnapping will one day hide. We are only in poverty. Nobody can do poverty life again.
While a safer Abuja is the goal, security should not create another crisis for those whose livelihood depend on the road. And the hope is that an alternative will show up before the restriction does. Oniye Shukra, reporting for S24 Television.
Welcome to another informative episode of Health 360. Today, we are going to be exploring the vital connection between our minds, our bodies, and our everyday well-being. And today, we are taking a closer look at how the human brain and nervous system respond to stress and trauma. With our guest in the studio, Amira Sadiq Abdullahi.
Thank you for having me. My name is Amira Sadiq Abdullahi. I am a health educator, author, and a mental health advocate.
That makes you the right man for the job.
Thank you.
Okay, so Amira, how would you describe PTSD to somebody who has no knowledge of it beyond how movies portray it as something that only happens to actors that act like soldiers that have been to World War II or war front?
Okay, many people think PTSD, that is post-traumatic stress disorder, only happens to soldiers. That's what we also often see in movies. But PTSD can happen to anyone, regardless of age, profession, or gender. PTSD can happen to anyone who experience a shocking or life-threatening event. For example, those that experience sexual assault, survivors of domestic violence, natural disaster, those who grew up in unhealthy environments, and those that lost a loved one.
Okay.
Yeah.
To we, the layman, how would you explain what goes on in the brain of somebody who has PTSD? Like when they get triggered, what goes on in their brain?
Okay, PTSD makes the brain alarm system to be overactive. When the person gets triggers, the brain goes into survival mode. The heart starts racing, breathing becomes faster. This is because the body is following the brain signal. The brain is reacting to memory, but the body is reacting as if the traumatic event is happening at that moment. So that is why they feel unsafe, even if they are in their comfort zone.
Okay, so we've seen in movies and heard and research shows that sounds can trigger things. Even a scent, a sound, or even noise can just trigger people's PTSD. How does that work?
Yes, triggers are ordinary things. A particular smell, a loud noise, a voice, a place, or even a certain date can actually have effect on someone with PTSD, because ordinary things have extraordinary effect on some people with PTSD. And the triggers might last for just few seconds or moments, but the person will spend the entire day trying to recover emotionally, or even days.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
you know, we think PTSD are like all those big things when they're covering and they're shivering and they're kept on edge all day. But what are those sneaky signs that we do not see that is so obvious? There's like people not being able to sleep or people having issues with certain things. You know, some people can just see something and you don't even know they've seen it, but they'll just be uncomfortable.
Yes.
What are those signs?
Many people don't realize how PTSD affects the whole body. Sometimes trauma doesn't have to announce itself. It appears as constant overthinking. They will start having insomnia, that is difficulty in sleeping. It even weakens the immune system. They have poor concentration, and then they also have digestion problem. So, and they are also emotionally drained. This is because their nervous system is always in survival mode, so it affects a person as a whole. Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
so during my research, I
Okay.
figured that PTSD patient, not me figuring, but like my
Okay.
research,
Okay.
PTSD patients have, or victims rather, have problems with being relaxed. Like they don't like being relaxed. They're always on the edge. Like something is always going to happen. Can you explain that to us?
Okay, this may sound strange, but being calm or relaxed with people with PTSD is actually unfamiliar. This is because after the traumatic event, the brain always feels like the danger will happen at any moment, and which makes it difficult for them to relax. And it's not like people with PTSD don't want to relax. It's just that their brain is trained to protect them. Even when they begin to relax, the brain feels like they're becoming vulnerable. So at that moment, it is difficult for them to relax.
Okay. Some people see some things and they just shut down, or they hear some things and they just shut down. You said that before.
Yes.
So how can they begin to feel again after they've gone numb? I would like for you to elaborate due to your background in medicine as a medical personnel.
Okay. Emotional numbness is actually the brain's strategy, brain survival strategy, or should I say survival response to trauma. Many people think trauma is about feeling sad, panicking, having anxiety, but at times trauma feels like nothing at all. This is the brain's way of saying, this pain is too much for me, I need to shut down for now. But with time, when the person experiences safety, comfort, and connection, they begin to heal emotionally. So at some point, they will stop feeling joy, sadness, happiness, at times even love. So when they experience this love, connection, and safety, their emotions will begin to come back slowly.
Okay. With your experience as a medical personnel, I have to go back to that again.
Okay.
And Nigerians in general.
Okay.
Can you just tell us one or two things you've seen with PTSD patients, or you've experienced personally, or we Nigerians are currently doing? We don't even know we have PTSD, but then we do have PTSD.
Yes. There is this.
Let's have that little discussion.
Okay, there is this thing Nigerians usually say, I am fine. How are you? I am fine. So not knowing that they are not okay, they are using this word, I am fine, like as their coping strategy. Knowing that deep down they are experiencing pain. Some other people don't even know that they're experiencing pain. So I know you have also experienced this. How are you? I am fine. At times, some people feel nothing at all. They won't feel empathy, they won't feel sympathy. So this is also part of post-traumatic stress disorder.
This I am fine quote.
Yes.
I think I was reading something online one day, and this Nigerian came up and was like, whenever he asks his Russian friends, how are you? They are always like, what, do you really want to know how I am?
I'm fine.
But then it's a Nigerian thing, you just expect them to say they are fine.
Yes.
Okay, so one in how many Nigerians actually have PTSD?
I can say that like about 50% of Nigerians, because a lot lost their loved ones. A lot Nigerian experiences natural disaster. Example, this recent flood in Maiduguri, and people being kidnapped by bandits. So they will be traumatized. This is the trending, should I say, trending episodes of trauma.
And how do you even think we are responding to that as persons? Because personally, I don't think we have enough therapists in Nigeria to be like, oh, this person has PTSD, send them to a therapy.
And then one thing, therapy is actually expensive in Nigeria. And then a lot don't even realize that they need therapy session, because there is this layman language, like Nigerians usually think therapy is actually for mad people, just like the word mental health is actually for mad people. So a lot don't even realize that they are going through PTSD.
I would have to say this. Some Nigerian parents don't even believe in any mental health issue. Like, what do you mean you are depressed?
Yes.
You are not depressed.
Yes, African mothers.
Okay, so what do you think we should do better?
I think people should pay attention to their mental health, and they should know that it is okay not to be okay. Personally, I've been traumatized because when I schooled in Maiduguri, that is Borno State, so there is this insurgency, there's suicide bombers everywhere, and there is bomb blasts everywhere. So it actually traumatized me to the extent that any loud sound, I'll react to it. And I'm still traumatized up till now.
So a lot of people are actually traumatized because up till today, there's still bomb blasting.
Yes,
and
bomb
a lot
blasts.
of people live with that.
And people also are being kidnapped.
And children.
Yes, and a lot also live in an unhealthy environment. So it often traumatizes them, most especially kids. That's why children usually grow up with childhood trauma.
Okay, so if you want to know somebody is a PTSD patient, yeah, what are the signs you should look into? Like, this person has PTSD, these are the signs I should look into.
Okay, sometimes they will be overthinking and there will be fear of uncertain situations. And one of the major signs are withdrawal. They withdraw from people, yes.
But you know, like the withdrawal thing, it is a thing with many Nigerians. We withdraw a lot.
Yes.
You are talking to somebody, all of a sudden you think you're good, and the next thing,
yes,
they're gone.
Yes. Actually, people with PTSD usually feel alone, unsafe, and for some people, they even feel unwanted. So that's why they prefer staying alone. And then, you know, we Nigerians, whenever I come to you with my problems, we end up judging, we end up gossiping about it. So that's why many people prefer keeping their problems
to themselves.
Yeah.
The thing, you tell somebody you have this problem, and the next thing they are
yes,
laughing.
It will be the topic of discussion.
Or gossip.
Yes.
And PTSD can even happen for many things. Okay, I should direct this question to you as the personnel here. Do you think PTSD can happen from many things beyond what we just mentioned? I mean, we have mentioned war, we have mentioned
sexual assault,
we have mentioned accident and loss.
Like I said, trauma is any shocking or traumatic event. Actually, any event that will affect how you cope with life, it's actually trauma. Yeah.
Have you had any personal experience with somebody?
Even students experience trauma.
Exam trauma.
Yeah. Even students, for example, low grades can traumatize them. Not able to meet up with grades actually traumatize students.
I mean, what would you go back home to tell your parents?
Yes, and also like our youths now being in labor market for long, searching for a job because you meet someone, a graduate for 10 years will be searching for a job. Actually, that is traumatizing.
The traumatizing events. I mean, and again, a lot of people are traumatized because they
even divorce.
Divorce can be traumatizing.
Yes,
too.
Yes, can be traumatizing.
That is a lot. We are going on a short break, and we will be back shortly. Welcome back from that break, and if you have been watching, this has been Health 360, and we've been discussing post-traumatic stress disorder with my guests,
Amira Sadiq Abdullahi.
Okay, thank you, Amira. Okay, so let's get to our next question.
Okay.
You were saying something about how people who think they have gotten over PTSD, and boom, 1 or 2 years later, it just happens again.
Yes, absolutely. PTSD doesn't have an expiry date. Many people honestly believe that they have moved on, but later on they will start having flashbacks, nightmares, even eating disorder, emotional numbness, withdrawal, and panic attacks. This happens because the brain is still responding to the traumatic event. So, for example, maybe someone got traumatized because of the death of a loved one. So, whenever he or she experiences another death, so it will start afresh. So honestly, they will be like, I'm fine now. I've experienced this before, so I think I can get over this. But it doesn't happen like that because it have to do with the nervous system.
The trauma is like an ongoing thing. It's not like it stops.
Yes.
For instance,
since we don't have control over our nerves, so it's an ongoing thing.
We actually do not have control over our nerves?
Yes.
I mean, and it's like a thing where sometimes some people have been hurt by knives or anything, and they just get triggered.
Yes, personally, I developed phobia for sharp object, not even like anything sharp object. Now, whenever I'm cutting something, I usually get triggered, like because I was a victim when I undergot surgery. I entered into the theater room with my legs, so I saw all the knives spread on the table. So since then, I feel like I would be slaughtered. So I feel like since then, I developed phobia for sharp object. Now, if I even have a cut here, just of recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for our viewers watching, what are those tiny things you think if somebody spirals or goes into depression, what are those things you think they can do to help the person? All those tiny things.
Okay. Whenever someone feels overwhelmed, the first thing they should do is slow breathing. Like they should breathe in and breathe out. Whenever they are panting, their brain and their heart will feel like they are in danger. But whenever they slow their breathing, like breathe in, breathe out, their brain will know that they are out of danger. And they should take a short walk, meditate, or even surround themselves with someone that make them feel safe. So it will make their body back to normal.
You said something about meditation. Can you elaborate on that? What is that?
Meditating actually is you will just sit in a relaxed position, maybe close your eyes and calm your nerves.
Okay, that's quite easy.
Yes, you should just stay calm, close your eyes, get a good posture, and that's all.
Okay, so with your experience in the medical field, how do you think Nigerians combat PTSD? How do you think they approach it?
Actually, some people are actually dramatic about it, the way they approach PTSD, because a lot don't even know what PTSD is. They will say that like it's something new to them. So at times it will be like just a mood switch. So that's how they see PTSD. Because someone now you'll be talking to him after being traumatized, like the person will overreact. Or at times the person will just show you, how are you? I'm fine, and that's all.
And in the mood you're like, oh, this person is very rude, or this person is sassy. You don't actually know what they are going through.
Yes.
Or all those kids we used to say, oh, you have too much mood swing.
Yes. So childhood trauma is becoming rampant now, and a lot of parents don't even realize that.
Can you elaborate on that?
Some children are having withdrawal syndrome, and a lot of parents think it's just normal or it's just their character or personality.
And even anorexia.
Yes.
Some children don't eat, and you just think, oh, it's because you're sports.
And then
that's
you
why
know
you're not
some
eating.
kids don't speak up.
Okay, they say healing happens in a relationship. How does having a supportive friend, partner, or community help someone recover from trauma?
Actually, relationships doesn't erase trauma, but they make healing easier. For example, now people that are traumatized, they feel unwanted, unsafe, and even unsupported. But a healthy friend, a healthy relationship, having a friend, a partner, or a community will make them feel that they are not alone. And when they feel the sense of safety, they will begin to recover. And having a social connection isn't just comforting, it is the best therapy. Some people actually are human medicine. When you spend time with them, you feel okay, much better. Okay. So like it is better to have social connections, have a friend you trust, and then people you enjoy their company. It's actually one of the best therapy.
Speaking of human medicines, this brings me to people that stay around toxic people.
Yeah.
Toxic people. Can we please talk about them more?
But at least, one thing I'm sure of, at least you will find one person that you are safe with.
You will find one person you're safe with. And some people just think, oh, I don't need anybody. Nobody needs anybody. They can be an island.
Yes, because we are being judgmental. We humans, we are being judgmental. So that's why people feel that way. But actually, like I said, some people are human medicine. You spend time with them and problem shared is
a problem solved.
Yeah. So the moment you share your problem with someone you trust, you feel a bit lighter.
You will feel lighter, but people don't even care about that.
Yes.
Because then they don't want to
We need to be less judgmental, and then we should stop gossiping about people's problems.
It's not about business. We should stay off of it.
It is good to mind your business as well.
So, beyond PTSD, are there other form of trauma that people actually experience?
Yes, trauma and PTSD are different things. Some people will be traumatized, but some people don't have PTSD. It doesn't have post reaction. So trauma is different from post-traumatic stress disorder. Some people will get traumatized and they will just move on, while some people get triggers lots of episodes of triggers.
So just because I'm traumatized does not mean I have PTSD.
Yes.
Okay, so people with PTSD are always having flashbacks. What does that look like for them?
Actually, they feel like that traumatic event, whenever they have the flashback, they feel like that traumatic event is happening at that moment because their brain is still processing what happened. And as I told you earlier, the body follows the brain signal. So they will feel like that traumatic event is happening at that moment. That's why they react. For some people, they will start sweating, having racing heart.
I have to take you back to something you said earlier.
Okay.
You mentioned some kids having withdrawal syndromes.
Yes.
Why do you think kids are developing withdrawal syndromes nowadays, and what do you think the effect is going to look like in the next 10 years?
Yes, they will have withdrawal syndromes. They will not be able to associate with people, and at times it goes into personality disorder. Associating with people will be difficult for them. That's why some people even develop stage fright. And then parents need to pay attention to their children. For some people that grew up in unhealthy environment, like I said, victims of survivors of domestic violence. So these children will be traumatized, and for some people they have trust issues because they don't relate with people. And relating with people they will find it very difficult. So it might develop to personality disorder.
Personality disorder. Yeah. Okay, that is true. And let me chip in something quickly.
Okay.
You know, some people have avoidance detachment style.
Yes.
And we don't even know it's a form of PTSD.
Yes.
Once you are getting too close to them like this, they just want to zoom off because then you are knowing too much and anything can happen.
Because they enjoy their own company. They are used to staying alone, so they enjoy their own company.
Okay, so PTSD has different formats and people express their PTSD in different ways.
Yes.
But then Nigerian parents, or let me use guidance, some Nigerian parents or guidance will just see it as you are battling a spiritual issue. How can we address that?
Yes. It's not everything that is spiritual, most especially African parents, or should I say African mothers. They can be dramatic when it comes to these kind of beliefs, but not everything is spiritual. With some therapy and some normal exercises and normal healthy habits, they can overcome that. It's not everything that is spiritual. And I will highly recommend therapy, even though therapy is very expensive in Nigeria, or they should go for counseling, or they should meet a health educator.
How would you know you can trust your therapist?
Yeah, because therapy is confidential. Therapy is confidential.
Do we have like an association or something that's like
because it's against their certificates, their profession as well.
Do they study that in school?
Yes. There is a course called psychotherapy.
Okay.
And they go series of classes and lectures. So they have their license.
Okay. Yes. Okay, now we've spoken about how the parents can help the child, but then how can we help the parents identify PTSD, and how can we educate them that it doesn't mean your child is battling a spiritual problem, but this and this, your actions, maybe you and your spouse are always shouting, it's affecting the child?
Yes. Parents need to pay attention to their children, most especially when they get triggered. They should notice what triggers them, and they should pay attention when the child is having withdrawal symptoms. And they should also listen to the child. That's why I love seeing the bond between parents and children, because some don't even know what their children are going through. Some don't even care to ask how their children are doing. It's not, they don't care how they are doing physically, emotionally, or psychologically. As far as they are not in the hospital and they are not lying down, they will just believe that their children are fine.
I mean, it is a thing. We mentioned that some students have PTSD from exams, fear of not meeting up with my GPA.
Yes.
Most Nigerian, sorry to say, but like most Nigerian parents don't care about your mental health. They don't even see it as a thing.
Yes.
Like, is mental health skinny? Is it even a thing?
Actually, me personally, I developed trauma when I was in school because most of my friends are studying medical courses, and they are looking at my course as a very useless course, if I would say, because I studied health education, and they'll be like, where are you going to work? And it actually traumatized me because I was having this anxiety, like, okay, what next? But they will be fine.
You were having a where am I going to work
Yes,
thing.
I'm having this anxiety, like what will the future hold?
What would I do in
Yes,
school? What would I do
yes.
after
What am
school?
I'm even like, I'm not even proud to see my course at that moment. So it actually traumatized me whenever I get triggered whenever someone asks me, what course are you studying? I get triggered, like, I'll be like, okay, health education. I'm not even proud of it. So I know a lot are going through this as well.
Not to even divert here, but social media is aiding a lot of these things. Because tell me why you'll be scrolling through social media and you'll be saying, what is the most useless course in Nigeria?
Yes.
And somebody will tell you, mass comm, fishery.
Yes. And then, you know, we often compare our lives to other people, and actually it can be traumatizing. We have different journeys, so we shouldn't compare ourselves with others.
Okay.
As well.
So does PTSD have a sign? Like you look at this person and know, this person has PTSD.
Yeah, it has a sign. Like I said, emotional numbness.
Emotional numbness.
They feel nothing at all.
But then some people have PTSD, but you would not know until they spiral.
Yes.
Okay, that is the thing.
Yes.
Okay, so children can definitely have PTSD too. We have spoken about that. And PTSD never really goes away.
Yes, it doesn't have an expiry date.
Okay, I'd like for you to still talk about that more.
Yeah, it doesn't have an expiry date because you think that you have honestly moved on, but after years, months, or days, and then you get triggered and you start having the nightmares, the panic attack, the anxieties.
Okay, so if a friend or if somebody has a friend or a family that is suffering PTSD, how do you think they can help them?
The first thing they should do is listen without judgment, and they should avoid saying you'll be fine or why don't you just move on. At times, your presence matters. Your presence is more powerful than your words. When someone feels safe with you, like they can trust you with that, and it will fasten the healing process for them.
So how do you think the government can come in and help, since 50% of Nigerians are battling PTSD?
Yes.
How do you think they can step in and help us?
I think they should make therapy, like, though therapy is a private thing, but I think the government can also hire therapists as in the hospital, because I have seen in the hospital a lot are not going through something physically. For example, HIV patients, they will have it in mind that, okay, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. But with counseling and therapy, they will be fine.
So, at the end of the day, I think counseling are only for, let me say, students that lost their parent or somebody that has HIV, like you said.
Anyone.
So they should make counseling compulsory.
Not really compulsory, but affordable.
Affordable.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned something about Maiduguri and how the bomb blast has impacted you and it has made you develop PTSD for sound.
Yes.
For loud sounds.
Yes.
Instead. How do you think, if the government want to focus on that region in particular, how do you think they can help? And do you think the people are even open to accepting that kind of help? I mean, you want me to go and divulge my secret to somebody I do not know in the name of a therapist?
Yes. I think they should help us, we the Nigerians, with security. Because if this continues happening, even when someone goes into therapy, like they will continue having the flashbacks, series of attack can develop more trauma. So they should help us with the security, from the security side, they should work on it. And also people should learn to trust. Like when you open up to someone, problem shared is half solved. Yeah.
Beyond the government, NGOs can step in.
Yes.
If an NGO wants to step in today, what is the first aspect you would want them to tackle?
I think domestic violence and sexual assault, because I have seen a lot of ladies react to harmless touch. Yes, they should focus on, though they are trying now, but a lot are going through a lot. A lot of ladies are going through a lot, and domestic violence as well.
Okay, so a final word to wrap things up.
Okay.
What is one thing you would say to somebody that has PTSD now, or a family member who has a family that is dealing with PTSD, or a friend who knows a friend that is dealing with PTSD?
Okay, to anyone who feels stuck in the past, I need you to know that healing is possible. Right now, you feel like the pain is not going to end, but how you feel today is not how you feel forever. And you shouldn't compare your healing journey to anyone. We all heal differently. And how you feel today is not how you feel tomorrow. Some days old memories come back, and some days you'll be fine. And this chapter you're in right now is not the end of your story, and it is okay not to be okay.
Thank you so much for that piece of advice, Amira. And it was so encouraging, actually.
Thank you for having me. I hope you also achieve a good mental health.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Health 360. Remember that taking care of your mental and physical health is an ongoing journey that requires patience, understanding, and compassion. Whether you're supporting a friend or navigating your own path, knowledge and collection are two powerful tools for growth. And until next time, take good care of yourselves. This has been Health 360, and I'm your host, Onyie Shukra.
Welcome back. This is still Morning Digest on S24 Television, and it's another edition of Top Trends. You know how we do it, bringing you the biggest stories, the viral moments, and the conversation taking over social media. And suddenly, everyone seems to have an opinion on. And I won't be doing this alone. Koyet Linus is joining me today as we unpack the stories making wave. So let's just get straight into it. Hello, Koyet.
Hi, Ma.
How are you doing?
Very fine, thank you.
So you're looking good.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
I am.
You're ready for today's story?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's just get straight into it.
Okay.
So our first story topping our charts is a woman mistakenly transferred 200,000 to a man named Ahmed Kabir, OP's account. And he immediately returned the money after confirming the mistake. And guess what? The woman resent the 200,000, saying it was a gift to him for being kind and, appreciating him. So what can you say about that?
First of all, it's human decency, honestly, because if somebody does something for you, in our world today, it is very rare to see people, you mistakenly send money to somebody's account and then they send it back to you.
Sure.
Oftentimes, they feel entitled to payment. They feel entitled to, and so I sought the money and gave it back to you. You should tell me thank you. Do you understand? And for somebody that you don't know, you just sent, and then you are calling them to tell them, please, I sent money to you, because and then they are giving it back to you. It is not. It doesn't always happen. Do you understand? And then if it happens, it is just, I will not say you are entitled to, but like to say thank you. Me, I'm big on thank yous a lot. So if somebody does something to me, for me, I just would rather say thank you. Do you understand? It just prompts them to do more. So I think it's because he returned the money back to her, and then she was like, "Hey, this person would have easily run away with this money," and then he returned it back to me. That is why she said thank you.
But wait, our generation today, or the world we are in today, that once you see that kind of amount, that certain amount of money,
you become greedy. Yes,
you might likely keep it to yourself.
Exactly.
Or better still, you won't even reach out to the person or who owns that money or something. So do you think if he had kept that money to himself, it's stealing?
It's stealing because it's not your own. Do you know how hard it is for you to work for money?
What if the person didn't reach out?
Until I became an adult that started working for my own money.
Yes.
I used to spend money recklessly. I used to spend money recklessly. But it is very difficult to get money these days. Before you work 30 days and then you are paid a certain amount, that is supposed to carry you for another 30 days. Now you are thinking house rent, you are thinking feeding, you are thinking a lot of things. You are thinking family. And then you mistake, this is okay. Now you don't know the plan this person had for the money, and then the money just accidentally landed in your account.
What
Once
if the
you
person didn't reach out? You know, I mentioned it before.
Now, it is one thing. If they don't reach out, it's a different thing because you don't know who sends the money.
So should you keep the money? Yes. Should you keep the money if the person doesn't reach out?
Honestly speaking.
So what should you do with the money?
You should find a way now because I feel okay. I don't know because it's me that okay. Let's see me and you now because it's me that sends the money to you. My account number may not actually show, but your own will show. I don't know. You report it. Should be there's a report something on OP. Plus it's OP now. You can easily find the person at the end of the day, but I would recommend you don't keep the money.
Wow.
Then again, these are what if they trace you for receiving payment for kidnapping?
Let me
look at that. Look at this angle.
Sure.
What if they trace you for receiving money for kidnapping? And then again, you are helping yourself at the end of the day. Returning the money, you're helping yourself at the end of the day.
We even took these questions to the street and we asked people, okay, if money was mistakenly sent into your account, would you return it? Some persons were like, in this hard economy, don't let us not lie. The economy too is like and a factor.
Exactly.
Why you won't return that money.
It's difficult to find people that are honest, that would want to return a money of that amount. Do you understand? Now, person salary with that too. Do you get it?
Yes, actually.
So,
and again, there's this story I heard, real life story. So, they mistakenly sent £1 million to this person's account, and he's a family man. So when he saw the money, he told his wife, I saw this kind of money. What should we do? The woman was like, let us just wait.
Yes.
If anybody reach out to us, we can probably, refund the money back. But they waited for like a month and nobody reached out, and they had to use that money.
No, but I feel like
so what can you say about that?
In cases like that, you will wait that long, and then one day somebody will just text you. And now it's not necessarily your fault because you actually waited. It's not like greed took over and then you decided that you're just going to spend this money. Do you understand? You waited. But it's not like there's anything you can actually do to find the person. In cases like this stuff, well, it is your luck.
Let us actually commend that woman.
He tried, honestly speaking. Again, it is very difficult to find honest people. And then somebody will give you back your hard-earned money. Emphasis on hard-earned money.
The fact that actually amazed me was the fact that she actually returned that same 200,000 naira to say thank you. And in some cases, the person might not, repay you back for your good deeds, but
they will just
all know
some will say thank you to you and some would not. At the end of the day, you are just being who you are as a person. Do you understand? It boils down to human decency. It boils down to contentment. If you are comfortable. If you are comfortable in your own space,
you won't want to do that.
Again, because I think if you understand how hard people work for money, trying to cheat other people, again, it depends on your conscience at the end of the day too. That is also going to play a vital role. It depends on your conscience.
So let's wait. Okay. Sorry for confusion. But let's take this. Let's personalize this now.
Okay.
Quiet liners.
Present.
If that kind of or that sum of amount of money was mistakenly sent into your bank account, would you return it?
I will.
Honestly,
because it is very difficult to work for money. I'm emphasizing this because I'm adulting this adult that I'm doing against my will, and then I go to work every day. There's stress. You're coming in early. You're closing late. And then at the end of the day, you're like, your salary is like,
and
you work for this money. Do you understand? So it is painful. It's me. If I mistakenly send my money to somebody's account, I would please recommend that you please pity me.
Send it back.
Pity me and give it back to me. Pity me and give it back to me because
I won't even lie. This particular thing happened to me, but let me just say the truth. It was with airtime. And I think at that time I was in school and I just had like 2K in my account.
Yeah.
And I went to go and do data and I mistakenly sent the wrong number. I texted, I messaged, I called. This person did not answer me. And I knew at that point I didn't have anything.
When I was still in the university.
Yes.
I was going to pay the cafe guy that was helping me print out my project.
Yes.
And then I mistakenly sent the money to somebody else. I didn't know the person. I don't know what was happening to me that day. It was project, it was final year, so everything was my emotions were all over the place. And then I missed a number. I don't know how.
Imagine
the
final
person
year.
Reach out, final year.
I could imagine.
I cried my eyes out because he paid me. He paid me. And then I have to still pay the guy again because he already did his job. I have to pay him. Do you understand? So because I have experienced this, I know for a fact pay if you happen to me to pay me. So please.
So what
if I
if-
mistakenly send my money to you, I can give it back to you. It's my money.
So what if that person that you mistakenly sent it actually tried reaching out to you but didn't?
He didn't. That is another point of view. Do you understand? Because it's not like I left a note that said, please return the money back, or this was a mistake. And I personally didn't reach out to the number because I felt like...
Yeah, there's nothing that can be done about it.
I just left it at that. So maybe if I reached out, maybe the person would have returned it, but I did not. So there's also that.
If you have like 100 persons like that kind of man, would Nigeria be a better place?
Now that you mentioned, I would say an average Nigerian is a typical politician.
Yeah.
Because we are as bad as our leaders, honestly. They did not just wake up and become corrupt. They started from somewhere. And this little missing traffic lights, collecting somebody's change, somebody gives you an extra money and then you're not returning it. This is a build-up.
Very well.
Do you understand? So like basically our politicians are a reflection of us.
But we the citizens can do better.
If we do better,
if you check it, civic participation is everyone. We have to be involved.
Everybody
not just
has
leave
to be
everything
involved.
to.
So now the thing is, are you going to be able to decenter greed as a person? Because we are quite greedy as a nation. We are quite greedy as people. Will you be able to remove yourself from the situation and say, okay, this is for the betterment of another person? We want Nigeria to be great. Everybody does want Nigeria to be great.
Yes.
So if you are not going to remove greed from the situation, how are we going to be great? You're not going to remove corruption. You're not going to stop doing things that you know that are enabling corruption. How are we going to be great?
And I love the fact that Nigeria actually took a bold step to actually commend that guy. You've checked the comment section.
Honestly, yes, I did. I went through it.
You did well.
He did well, honestly. If we have 1 million of him in this country,
you did well. Because I know how many people have lost their money because of this particular mistake.
If we have this many people like this, that I would say, this thing is not right, and they return, don't you think Nigeria will be better?
Yeah. So let's just wrap this up. Okay. One word for that guy. One word.
You did good. We need more of you in this country, truly speaking. If we want Nigeria to work, we need more of you in this country.
Ahmed Kabir, you did
good.
Shout out to you.
Kudos to you, Kabir.
So let's just quickly move into our next story. Okay. So this one says, I want to go back to Nigeria. I'm tired of abroad. This place is too quiet and boring. I miss Abiru. So a US-based Nigerian lady cries out.
Okay. So I think there are two sides to this story.
Yes.
First off, we grew up in Nigeria where if you go out, you can't take 10 steps. You see somebody and you people are like, good morning. You don't have to jack each other. You people don't have to be friends, but there's always like a rapport amongst neighbors. Because I grew up in a neighborhood where in fact, almost all of us in the neighborhood, we went to the same school. So we were all friends growing up. Do you understand? Not really sure, but we played together.
Yes.
We went to a lot of us were classmates. Some were our seniors and then some were juniors too. Do you understand?
Yeah,
so like there's a community. I don't know the right word for it, but we had this sense of community. We have this sense of community as Nigeria, where it is not that case. I had a conversation with a friend this morning that said he has a friend that moved to the US and she has spent about 6 or 8 months and she has seen her neighbor just once and they've never said hi.
Okay.
So if you're in this neighborhood with everybody that likes money, although now in Nigeria, there are estates you enter that everybody minds their business. In place where I stay with my parents,
everybody's minding their business. Like
there's
that,
no situation where children are gathering and playing together. I had that when I was growing up.
Did it affect you in any way?
How? Growing up? No, I had friends growing up.
Okay.
Because after school, we'd gather together in front of our houses because our neighborhood was closely knitted. So we just had this big streets where we come to play. So football, the girls are playing sway, the boys are playing football. So like we just had this sense of community. There was no child that was alone. And then in that case, we had issues where your mother can correct me.
Yes.
Because she considers me her child too. Do you understand? So like for her kids now, I would say maybe there's like a sense of aloneness. She says she means Agbiru. There's nobody that is going to look at you on the street and be doing you. Do you understand? That will just be talk life towards you. It's just chill. Everybody's just on their own, minding their business. Then again, it depends on her personality, what type of person she is.
That's just it. I agree with you.
How much you relate with people. Are you that much of an outside person? Do you understand? So That
But
is also something
do you
to
think
consider.
there is actually boring? Because I feel like, to some extent, probably she went there alone, or she does not have friends. Like you
Family,
said,
yeah.
it boils down to her personality. She does not have any close friend or anything that she cannot say, "Oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that." But we can actually say, do you know this girl Shagzy on TikTok? She went to see Canada or something, and she actually adapted to it, and she's enjoying it and everything. And this person now, I know that they are two different persons, but it just tells a story that this work can work for A, doesn't
Cannot
work for B.
Yes.
You understand? And she's saying she misses the Abbey.
Let me tell you something. I think the interesting part about the Abbey thing bar, because I've seen on Instagram and I've seen on Twitter where girls will say, "You can't hurt me. This Abbey bike is telling me I'm beautiful. You know if you tell me otherwise." Do you understand? So like, she probably grew up around that where she had bike men, or because it's very interesting that you are going out as a girl and then people are just hailing you, that type of thing. In your neighborhood, people just are hailing you. So she probably had that before she moved. And then now it's different because the place is quiet. Nobody's raz. There's
like
no Akara woman by the road. Do you understand?
Like
all of these things. You cannot just go out and then jam into somebody and then people are having a conversation, or again, it boils down to her personality. Is she the type of person that relates with people? Is she the type of person that is welcoming? Do you understand? All of these things you have to consider.
A conversation were like, what do we Nigerians want? We want to go abroad. We want to stay back. You should just pick a side. Because honestly speaking,
people in Nigeria want to leave Nigeria. People outside of Nigeria want to come back to Nigeria. Pick a place.
That's exactly what they said.
You can't be confusing everybody.
One person, how would you say, okay, some persons were like, you might not understand because you are not there.
Exactly.
So you can't really tell what is happening over there and here.
And then we are saying,
we all know.
This Nigeria that we are in, it is a privilege that you are able to.
And let's not lie, Nigeria is actually a very
interesting place to live in, honestly speaking. Because as much as we want to say healthcare, we want to say corruption and all of those things, Nigeria is very comfortable to live in. If we just have everything working, Nigeria is very interesting to live in because if we meet people that are very interesting.
So let me just, we're coming back to this story. Okay, we will come back. Let's just take a short break. So we'll take a short break now. When we return, there's more on Top Trends. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Top Trends on S24 Morning Digest. If you are just joining us now, I and Patience Linus, we're just having a lot of insightful conversations. So let's just go back to where we...
Okay, so we said personality. It boils down to her personality because she has to be an introverted person or an extrovert to be able to relate with people. Do you understand? So if she's not the outgoing type, it is going to be very difficult for her to make friends or meet people. Personally, I'm not going to start a conversation with somebody until they talk to me first.
Same. Please, because I think I'm that person. I think I'm that girl.
I'm not going to. It's not because I don't want to talk to you, but I don't know. If I'm in a new place, I like to learn the place. You have to discern as well. You have to learn your environment, know the people in your environment. So it probably takes a lot of people longer to integrate to their society, their new environment, than it takes others. So that is also something we should look at.
But should we say there are actually strict rules there that makes it more, more complicated, like abroad, that makes it more complicated for them to stay there, or make it?
I think you would hear people say Nigeria is a lawless country, but I don't think that is the case, honestly. Although we've seen instances where it looks like Nigeria is a lawless country. There, you can't behave anyhow. You can't act anyhow. You would know that there are rules and regulations that are guiding this place. So you cannot just behave the way you want to behave. Do you understand? So I think it is, like I said, the Abbey and people hailing you on the street, and then you're just walking around and then you see somebody. And then we've seen videos where somebody's walking and then somebody's just dragging you.
Yes.
Somebody's pushing you. You go to the market. You go to the market and somebody's dragging you. Fine, get half an hour. Come my shop. Come.
My color. My color.
Understand? And that doesn't necessarily happen in that place. So I think these are all of the things she misses. But Nigeria is rowdy.
So out of 100%, 60% per se, do you think they missed the whole drama here?
So I think what she misses is the drama that happens in Nigeria, the attention possibly. I would not say, she said in her words, is the Agberu she missed. Do you understand?
What do we want?
Exactly. What do you really want? Because
many people were like, you will not understand. The thing is, you might not.
Again,
I
we
will
will not
understand.
understand. We will not understand because we've not lived in her shoes. Again,
but
no
for me,
here.
if I actually like have the opportunity to go there, I don't think I'll have a problem because I'm this type of person that I'll just stay on my own. As long as there's food,
there's lights,
my phone is
Wi-Fi,
there,
I'm good.
There's lights, there's data and everything. I don't have
also need some type of human connection.
That is it. If you are going there alone, you don't have anybody there, or you have like probably your neighbors are not that type that will just want to greet you or talk to you or everything. That is where you're going to find it very difficult.
Yeah.
But let us take, for instance, you went there with a couple of friends or maybe your sibling.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It is okay.
Stay with your siblings. It's very actually okay
to blend in.
You will blend. You have conversations with them. You might play. But me, I'm that type that I don't even want to talk. Let me just be there. Let me just use my phone. Let me just eat. As long as I can make my videos, I'm good.
Really?
I'm good. Make my videos and I'm good. I don't have an issue. I can stay in the house like a week and I won't step out. I don't know.
Yes, about that.
Yes.
I can understand.
So I feel like it's just different personality and everything. So one word for that girl.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Different. What's the saying? Is it different folks for different strokes for different folks? So you are going to be fine.
So what is one thing about Nigeria you think you would genuinely miss if you moved abroad?
The people.
Which people? Which people? Which people?
Okay. My bad. Nothing. I beg. Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You will miss your family. You
think I'll live by myself?
So you won't go alone?
At all.
So you want to pick somebody and
all of us? At all. No.
So what if there's a case that you actually need to go alone?
That's a different thing. Well, I will talk to them over the phone now. No pass like that.
So if someone offered you a fully paid life abroad, but you had to leave Nigeria permanently,
I will take it.
Will you take it?
Absolutely.
So you would leave
I
us?
I will take it and leave you people. I will do that. I would do absolutely that. I would do that.
So the last one before we move into the next story for today. What are some things about Nigeria that people only appreciate after they leave?
I've never thought about it though. Again, the food. We have nice delicacies there.
Like, how did you think about this?
You eat good food at home. I don't know. Again, I've not traveled. I'm not that widely traveled. I'm not vast. So I would not know. But Nigerian foods we just have it. It's just up there. I don't know. It's just up there.
Nothing beats it.
Please.
Nothing beats it. Honestly, I think that goes down to me too. I think there's just one of my friends too that she traveled abroad after her secondary school. So she went abroad, everything. So I was surprised after 2 weeks.
But then again,
Mama was doing abacha. I said, that's my girl.
Then again, there are people that sell Nigerian food.
Yeah,
so
they do.
You cannot necessarily say it's just the food. What else would it be?
Actually, the food, because you might be craving your local dishes.
But I think it is going to be fighting people on the streets. I don't know.
Or the song, the music. You can have your jam box or something or your speaker.
And then there are nice places to chill out there too. So I think it's like she said, it's the Agbero. It is definitely going to be the Agbero.
So let's just pause that for let's just go into our next story for the day. So this trending video of the moment a Gen Z. You're a Gen Z. Are you not a Gen Z?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The moment a Gen Z called Tony Elumelu Tony at a conference.
Now,
so he corrected her instantly.
First of all, I would not say it's a Gen Z thing, because I went through the comments and then they kept on saying Gen Z don't have respect.
Yes.
Gen Z, it is not a Gen Z thing. I think we should come to a point where we should understand that the oldest Gen Z is becoming 30. I've been turning 30. So it is not a Gen Z thing. Every small thing you pass, everybody shouting Gen Z, Gen Z, Gen Z. What is the hate? Because I personally feel there's a hate for Gen Z, because I don't understand why
The whole beef.
Yes. What is the beef there? What is the problem? If you have beef, bring it, let's eat it. What is the problem? Why are you always dragging them? Okay, so first of all, because it is a professional setting, again, we are going to look at maybe where she is from, her background.
And how she grew up. Yes.
She may probably have worked in a place where it was okay to address people by their first names. And that was fine. You don't get penalized for it.
Yes.
But I realized it was a graduate training program, which means this is your potential boss. However the case may be, you people are not friends. You people are not familiar like that.
This and that.
You do not have to call him sir or Oga. It is common decency, honestly. Mr. Tony would have been the best way to address
and avoid everything.
First of all, by virtue of his experience, if I say age now, he's going to be like, but then again, regardless, he's still older. Do you understand? And then by virtue of his experience, like I said, this is supposed to be a potential boss. It just shows...
I should accord him that respect.
It is just common decency.
But do you think she was disrespectful?
Then again, it was not disrespect. Because in that context, people would say, I don't think he was disrespectful, honestly. Because she did not mean any disrespect by it. Again, I don't know her mind though. So I'm speaking based off on the video. Based off of my perspective and the video. She didn't mean it in the form of disrespect. Because again, there are corporate settings that said you should address people by their first names. Yeah. So we work in an organization where we've never had the conversation, but you just know that there are certain people you just don't address by their first names. Do you understand? Until they've told you it is okay to call me by my first name. Yeah. Do you understand? So it just did not make sense at first. It really does not make sense. Again, this is supposed to be a potential boss because it is a graduate training program, and then you are addressing the CEO of said company, and then you are calling him by his first name. You people are not familiar. You people are not friends.
So one thing about Gen Z that we need to know is that in as much as we are portraying this whole young vibes and everything, we should actually know that there are rules and there are certain principles to things, and there are certain way we should go about things, and don't just do them anyhow.
And then I feel like this thing is not even supposed to be taught because you just know. Growing up, we went to schools now. You don't address your lecturers or your teachers by their names. You say ma, you say sir. You are coming to the professional setting. You just act accordingly. Do you understand? You just don't call people by their names. Again, you people are not familiar. You people are not friends. You don't address people by their names. It is just a prefix. It's not going to take anything from you. Mr. She would have just said Mr. Tony. And then he said, you said, and then she repeated herself. I said, good morning, Tony. Do you understand? So the intention might not be malicious, but the way it came out, it was very disrespectful. It came out disrespectful. And then again, we are Africans. We are Nigerians. We grew up in a system that said you should respect your elders, regardless of, I am not Yoruba, but if you stay around Yoruba people, you know that your elder siblings, if you cannot call them by their full name, I'll be by their first name. You people are siblings like that. You cannot address them by their first name. Again, we are coming back to the professional setting. This is a work environment. Mm-hmm. You are supposed to act accordingly. Do you understand? These things are not taught in schools. You just know. Because you went through the university, you did not address your lecturers by their first names. You would say Mr. This before you say what you want to say. You will say Oga this before you want. Even to security men in my workplace, I don't call them by their names. Do you understand? Now
there must be something attached.
Even if you people are familiar, you can't just say, or you can't just call them by their names. Unless they said it is okay to call them by their names. Emphasis on unless they say it is okay. You should not just address people in the professional setting by their names.
You know, there are several times I've called probably a lady or a man, Mr. and Mrs. and they'll be like, no, don't call me that.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know whether it's just me, but there's just this way I feel when I don't add that formality there. I don't know if it's just me. Probably we are like 10 outside there. But there's just a way I will feel and I'm like, I don't feel good calling this person just by their name.
Personally,
But at some point too, I will also say she wasn't disrespectful.
She wasn't. I don't think the intent was disrespectful.
It could be from the way she was doing. And if you actually listen to what people are saying, they say clips are coming out that He had actually addressed someone
No, he was
in an
addressed
interview.
in
Yes,
an interview in Stanford, yes, by Tony, and he did not correct it. Now, I would say that is because she was doing her job. She was interviewing him, so she just addressed him. Then again, they probably would have been familiar before that. Do you understand? Because you would probably want to, before you come on stage to interview somebody, you probably would have had like small talks with the person behind closed doors that we didn't see. So it was okay. You don't know this person personally. This person is not your friend. This person is not your neighbor. There is no common ground here. This is supposed to be your employer. And then you are calling them, the very first time you want to ask them a question, you are calling them by their name.
Yeah.
First of all, yes, a typical Nigerian setting, that disqualifies you already.
Actually.
That disqualifies you already. Because now everybody's looking at you from a point, they're not going to blame your parents for you don't have home training. Did you see the comment section?
Yes, most of the parents
don't have
raise
home
their
training.
hands,
Your parents did not raise you right. It is me that made a mistake. Why are you dragging the entire members of my family for it?
And the fact that they're actually dragging the Gen Z, please, what did we do?
It is not a Gen Z problem.
It is not a Gen Z problem.
An individual that made a mistake. Do you understand?
And because she's young, we have to take the blame. It doesn't.
Now, somehow,
it doesn't
all of us
make
Gen Z
sense
at
any point.
It's crazy. Do you understand? It does not make sense at all.
Many people are like, if this particular scenario happened abroad, would they have addressed it? Would they have remained silent? Because if you check it there, they don't really fancy all of this.
Then again, if you are meeting somebody for the first time, it is just common sense.
It should be formal.
It is just common sense that you address them how they want to be addressed. It is just common sense. Then again, they are older. You just, sir, excuse me, sir, Mr. This, Mrs. That.
Okay.
It is not going to take anything from you as a person. It is just basic respect. It is just that, basic respect. Do you understand?
Very well.
It is just because again, I'm going to go back to you did not call your lecturers by their names. Why are you calling your potential employer by his name? Do you get? So again, it is not a Gen Z problem.
Honestly, he sounded calm to me when he responded because I know many people
that's where boundaries coming. He just put a stop to it so that nobody makes that same mistake again. You people should know.
Yeah, that this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it.
I saw in a group chat with few students and the conversation came up today. And because it is a bank setting, apparently they train bankers in some trainings to address people by their first names. So I think because they went through that training, that is where she got it from. So then again, it might probably be from, again, her teaching, her background.
So you can't really blame her.
Exactly.
Nobody should take take correction.
Take correction. You should not address
your
elders.
So one word for her and one word for the Gen Zs.
It is not a Gen Z problem, first of all. Let's stop blaming Gen Z for everything that is going wrong with our system. Millennials, they try, but we should not always blame the Gen Zs for everything. Then again, she can do better, honestly.
Yeah,
you can do better, so just do better.
So let's just go on a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more interesting conversation. Welcome back. This is still Top Trends on S24 Morning Digest, and we've been having really engaging conversation with Yates. So Yates, let's just move to next story for today, topping our charts. So poverty has convinced some Nigerian women that every man with money is the right man to marry. BBN's Tochi. I think it was during 2021 or 2020 lockdown that.
Okay. He was a housemate.
Yeah, 2020, I think. Yeah. So what's your 2 cents on this?
First of all, I hate it when people drag women. First of all. And then now that it comes to money, it is sensitive. And we are not going to close a blind eye. We are not going to turn a blind eye as if it's not happening. So it is actually happening. He's not completely wrong. But have you seen when men are with men that have more money? Do you understand? Have you seen when men are with men that have more money? the respect, the way they talk to each other, it is, you are, wow. And you people will call women gold diggers. You are a bigger gold digger. Honestly.
Most men with money don't even complain. And it's the ones that don't have anything in their pockets that are always the one that have something to say. Because you hardly see a rich man complaining about a girl. It's always the ones that are with nothing.
The ones without gold. Say it.
And they will dig. I will have to say.
Just that. Okay, so again, we're not going to pretend it's not happening.
Yes.
It is happening. It happens. I've seen cases where people marry for survival because I don't want to be poor. I'm
not
just
like they married for love.
That is just the idea. But then I've also heard where somebody said, if you are married for money, it's because you are married somebody for money, it's because you are married for love. You love money now. So that's
most people will be like, with time, the feelings will
I don't think
would grow. Just go there. But money should be a factor. I won't lie.
But survival should not.
You can't. Oh yes.
Do you understand? I feel like you and the person, you have to like somebody enough. Personally, you are your money pay. I have to like you enough to even spend your money.
Even think of that.
Do you understand? Again, I grew up privileged a bit.
Yes.
I did not really suffer my growing up. I've never had to beg for anything. I've never really lacked. Father has always just been. And then I was having a conversation with a few friends yesterday, and they were saying she told her father that he cheated her because what she saw, how he treated them at home is different from what they are seeing outside. Do you understand? So like, I feel like people should not date for survival, honestly. As a woman, get your bag. Honestly, get your money.
You should have your own money.
Personally, yeah, I feel like if I have money, it's not from a place of pride or anything. I just like, there's this comfort. There's this aura. There's this aura you move with. Do you understand? When you have your own money, because you will not take anything. You will not take nonsense from anybody if you have your own money. You are not thinking if this person. Then again, because you depend on somebody for money, it is difficult for you to live an abusive relationship.
And even speak up when something
abuse
goes
is
wrong.
involved. Yes, because this person is going to cut my source of income. If you have your own bag, you will not take shit from nobody. You are going to move accordingly. Do you understand? Because you have your money, you will not take disrespect from just anybody, from men.
This is why we should actually empower women more.
Yes. Aside empowerment, women should want better for themselves, honestly. As a woman, you should want to be better for yourself. Not because you want to get married tomorrow, not because you want to impress anybody, but for yourself. You should do better for yourself. You should have money for yourself, for your family, for your siblings, but most importantly, for yourself.
So as a woman, you grew up and your whole mentality is centered on a man. I'm not going to judge you though, but you should understand that it goes beyond that. You personally should look for a source of livelihood.
You should always want better for yourself.
That's it.
You should always look at yourself and be like, I can be better than this. And then strive to get better than that. You are a woman. You can do so many things. There are so many things for you to do that does not revolve around being a wife. Again, no judgment to anybody that just wants to be a wife and a mother. Those are big shoes to fill in. Do you understand? Those are big shoes. It's not easy to take care of children.
Yes.
3-4 children. It is not easy to do that. But you can do so much more. Again, no judgment to whoever just wants to do that. It is a big shoe to fill. So respect mothers because our mamas try. No, seriously.
Honestly,
our mothers tried. Growing up, my mom is an accountant. She works for Nigerian Water Board in Kaduna. She's an accountant though. I've never been told that your entire life should revolve around a man. No.
Yes.
My dad told me and my sisters, because we are 3 girls and 2 boys. He told us that as long as he's alive and he's able to, he's going to sponsor us whatever level of education you want to. If you want to do BSc and stop, good and fine. If that is what you want to do. I am doing my master's degree right now. My father is sponsoring my master's degree. It's because at some point in my life, I was told you can be better than this.
Yeah.
You can want better for yourself. Do you understand? So as a woman, you should always strive to want better. It's not easy, honestly. It is not easy because you are going to face factors. You are going to face a lot of, because then again, you have opportunities and you are hearing things because you're a woman. I don't think you can do this. There are women that go to work and maybe they are told because you're a woman, you cannot do this. This is not an attack on no. It's not trying to, no, I'm not trying to attack men or drag men or anything, because before you look at me as a man hater, I am not. But you can be so much better than just a wife. You can be so much better than putting your entire survival to a man. Do you understand? It is beautiful to see women that are hardworking. I respect women
Honestly,
a lot.
actually,
I love
agree with you.
women a lot. Personally, I love women a lot. Hardworking women, I'm like constantly in awe of have. Do you understand? I don't know. There are women there's a way women with money move. Women with confidence, women that know themselves. There's a way they move that you just know it is different. They are not demeaning. A lot of them are not demeaning. They are self-respecting. They try to uplift as many women as they can. Do you understand? So then again, what he said, he's not completely wrong. He's not completely wrong. We've seen cases, we've heard stories where women center their whole life, and then you're just with this person because of the money.
Yeah.
It has brought Twitter dragging, Instagram dragging. We've seen creators online that they've dragged. We've seen celebrities online that they've dragged, and then they are just centering their whole life and saying it's a man that does this for you. There's this pride that comes with having your own timber, not because you're trying to be pompous or trying to show off. It just comes with a lot of confidence.
Honestly, I want to add something to that. Because me, while growing up, I grew up with brothers.
Okay.
I had like 2 other brothers. So I would say they are like the way I am today, or how I carry myself, I'll give credit to them. Aside from my parents, because my brothers are my number one hype men. They always, as a woman, you should know your worth. You should know your value. Always do this, always do that. Always, and God privileged us the fact that if I need something, they'll be like, okay, take this, get this for yourself. My birthday, they always want to, even if it's the little they have, they always want to just give me something for me to know this is what my brothers are doing for me. So any man that is doing it,
you are making is not going to surround around you trying to survive.
Actually,
exactly.
I was raised like this. So even at this point, I can't even stoop low for anybody or even see myself less because of anybody. And my dad is like, I'll put him like he's a fan of education. So he always wants you to be there, be at the top. So with that knowledge I've had since while I was a kid, I've always pushed myself. Book-wise, I don't know, otherwise, everything, I always want to be at the top.
It is not rocket science.
It actually revolves around who I am today.
Like in Africa, I think as far back as the early days, women got married because of survival. Times are different now. Women are allowed to work now. Yes. Women are allowed to have their own money now. Women are allowed to be who they want to be now. So in this age and time, if you still want to be in love with a man, or because you still want to like a man because of what he can do for you, I think you are the problem in this situation. Because you can easily do that for yourself.
If you have your own money as a woman, there's this confidence.
It comes with a lot of confidence
from
you
anyone.
You will not just allow people to talk to you anyhow because I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter, but a girl and a guy went out on a date or something, and then there's this expectation some men have when they go out on a date with a lady, because they paid for dinner, they have expectations for what happens in return. Do you understand? And this is not a transactional something. You said, "Pay, let's go out on a date." I didn't ask for this. You said, and then I'm going out with you, and then you are suggesting that what do you expect wants to happen after this? It is just a date. They don't read any extra meaning. This is what it is. Do you understand? So now, if you are not you invite me on a date. I'm not expecting that you buy my dress. Those are basic things. Again, if you can do basic things, it is basic. It is.
Let me share a story before. Let me share a story before we round up.
It is so basic.
So there's this clip I watched. This is our last story. There's this clip I watched, and they went on a date, like you said, and the food was 49,000 naira. And the man said before he will pay for this food, they have to go home and do some stuff
for food.
So the woman was like, if it's that, I'm gonna pay for my meal. And when I'm done, I'm leaving. And that is the end of it.
For food.
So
No,
imagine
seriously,
the
for
whole
food, though.
so you could imagine everything that happened for
understand?
women that don't have money and all.
And
My
then now
dear
you are
Queen,
okay. You are like you're just going to take whatever comes, whatever he has to say because he has money. On top how much?
this is a whole lot. This is a whole lot.
Seriously.
If we have to stay long on this discussion, there's a lot to discuss. Let's just quickly round up and
All
go.
right.
So, and this is where we draw the curtain for today. It's been a great conversation so far, and we hope we've given you something to think about. Thanks to our guests, Kuyates, and to every one of you watching. I am Gladys Asoko, and this has been Top Trends on S24 Morning Digest. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at S24 Television. See you on the next episode. Bye for now.
There's a question that echoes in the minds of millions of Nigerians. When did we get it wrong? When did the giants of Africa begin to shrink in the eyes of the world? When did the country that once inspired liberation across Africa become a nation whose passport is viewed with suspicion? Those brightest minds live in search of greener pasture, and those voices no longer carry the same weight in global affairs. Many believe that there must have been one defining moment, one decision that cost Nigeria its dignity and influence. But history tells a different story. Nigeria did not lose its standing overnight. It happened slowly, one compromise at a time, one missed opportunity after another, one generation failing to complete what the previous one started. At independence in 1960, Nigeria inherited enormous advantages. We had one of Africa's largest population, fertile lands, abundant mineral resources, and a strategic location, an immense intellectual capital. Around the world, expectations were high. Nigeria was expected to become a global economic and political powerhouse. Then came the crack. The first major blow was political instability. Ethnic rivalry soon overshadowed national identity instead of asking what is the best for Nigeria. Too many leaders and followers ask, what is best for my region, my religion, my tribe? The military coups and the civil war left scars that shaped the nation's politics for generations. Trust became fragile, institutions weakened, and power became something to seize rather than a responsibility to serve. Then oil arrived, not as a blessing, but as a distraction. Rather than using oil well to industrialize, diversify the economy, improve education, and build world-class infrastructure, Nigeria became dangerously dependent on crude oil exports. Manufacturing weakened, agriculture declined, innovation slowed. The easy money from oil reduced the urgency to build a productive economy. Corruption flourished. Merit gave way to patronage. Public institutions became weaker. Every Naira stolen was not just money lost, it was a hospital never built, a school never completed, a road never repaired, and a dream never realized. Gradually, the consequences became visible. Foreign investors became cautious. Nigerian passport attracted more scrutiny. Brain drain accelerated as doctors, engineers, academics, journalists, entrepreneurs, and skilled professionals sought public opportunities abroad. The international community does not grant influence simply because a nation is large or rich in resources. Influence is earned. It comes from strong institutions, from predictable governance, from economic stability, from respect for the rule of law, from innovation, from trust. Nigeria did not lose its privileges because another country took them away. It surrendered many of them by failing to constantly build these foundations. Yet, this is not the whole story. Nigeria remains one of Africa's most influential nations. Our music dominated global charts. Our films reached audiences across continents. Our entrepreneurs continue to build remarkable businesses. Our diplomats still play important roles in regional peacekeeping. Our people continue to excel wherever they go. The tragedy of Nigeria is not a lack of potential. It is the persistent gap between potential and performance. Perhaps the better question is not, when did Nigeria get it wrong?
perhaps the more important question is, when will Nigeria finally decide to get it right? History does not imprison nations forever. Countries like Singapore, South Korea, Rwanda, and others demonstrate that transformation is possible when leadership becomes visionary. Institutions become stronger than individuals, and citizens embrace accountability as much as they demand it. Nigeria's greatest export has never been in oil. It has always been its people. The brilliance of Nigerians has never been in doubt. The challenge has always been creating a system that allows the brilliance to flourish at home. The future of Nigeria will not be decided by one election, one president, or a single policy. It will be decided by whether we finally replace short-term politics with long-term nation building, whether competence begins to matter more than connections, whether institutions become stronger than personalities, whether citizenship becomes more important than ethnicity, whether public offices become a place of service rather than personal enrichment. Nigeria did not lose its place in the world because destiny abandoned us. We gradually abandoned the principles that make a nation respected. The encouraging truth is this: anything that can be rebuilt through decades of poor choices can also be rebuilt through decades of wise ones. The giant of Africa has not yet died. It has simply been asleep. And history is filled with nations that woke up.
Good morning and welcome to yet another edition of the Sport Desk, where we look beyond the headlines to understand the stories, decisions, and moments shaping the world of sports. I'm your host, Udokan Godspa. The Premier League is back, but before we get into the new season, we have a few fascinating stories to unpack. We begin with one of football's most entertaining character, Ronaldinho, who at 46 is making an unexpected return to competitive football. Is this one last moment of magic, or simply a chance to relive the memories? Then we turn to Manchester United and Carlos Baleba. After a long-run transfer pursuit, is United finally getting their man, and could he be the midfield solution they have been looking for? And with the Premier League returning, we ask a simple but important question: which team has the toughest opening test, and could an early difficult fixture shape the season before it even begins properly? 3 stories, plenty of questions, and a lot to get into. And this morning, joining me on the decks, as usual, is my colleague with a special guest, Coach Jibril Abdurraouf. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Gospel.
Good morning, Gospel.
And special good morning to our coach here for joining us.
It's nice having you on the show. Thank you for coming. Thank you for gracing the show with us this morning. So, Coach Jibril and Olawale, let's just quickly dive into our conversation for this morning. We'll be starting with one of football's greatest legends, as we all know, Ronaldinho. I mean, he retired sometime back in 2015 from professional football, and just yesterday we saw news all over social media that he has returned to football by signing. He's 46 and he's returning to the field of play by signing for Serie C side Revinha. I mean, when you saw this story all around social media yesterday, what was your first impression? Let's start from Coach Jibril.
Well, Ronaldinho is one of the star player in the world. After we have won the Ballon d'Or, and then he has been doing well. When somebody retire like their brother, they have good program. You know, even if they have retired, they still play. They don't just go away from football totally. They still play. So he has the faith that if he's coming back, he will do well. Now, he's not going to Serie A or Serie B or the Premier League. He started from Serie C to test run his ability to play at 46. You know, football is business. And they can't sign a player that is prone to injury at all times. Even if you are the best player, the highest time they will give to you is either 2 years or 1 year, as the case may be. Take example for Modric. He's in AC Milan now. And how many years contract are they giving him? They're giving him 2 years. So on and so forth. So if Ronaldo is coming back, I think fans will be happy because they love to see him play. So,
Olawale, let's get your opinion on
I
this.
think it's exciting to see Ronaldinho coming to professional football again. He's had a wonderful career, and there's even been a lot of ups and downs in his personal life. After retiring, the issue he had that had to get him to jail. Now he's back. But there's something that is always constant about Ronaldinho's life, is that the football has not left him. If you see some of the games that he has played, maybe they are organizing community matches between fellow veterans, you still see him producing exciting performances and all of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ronaldinho hitting the ground running in Serie C. So I still feel like he still has a little bit of football in him.
So this was actually a question because I wanted to get your views on him returning to football after an 11-year absence, and he's 46. Do you think he has what it takes to give us a realistic performance on the pitch once again?
I'm not going to say he has what it takes. Football takes a lot of commitment, a lot of physicality, and in terms of that, he is not longer in that age range to be able to deliver. But of course, he has the experience. So, and then he sets a personal target for himself that he just needs a goal to make him mark the 300 goal for his career. So I'm not really expecting much, and I don't think he can do all of that, but he still has that brilliance.
Okay, let's he's come back to football. Why do you think he's coming back to football? Do you think it's mainly because of he loves the game, or he has something more to contribute to football compared to?
Well, it's a two-edged thing. The first side is this man loves football. He lives for the game.
Okay.
And then you can see it through this move that he wants to come back and enjoy the game also. Then there's also a business side because he has a stake in this Serie C team that he signed for. So it's more like promoting the team, bringing them into the limelight in Italy.
Let's quickly hear from Coach Jibri, because I believe he has more experience since he has dealt with players.
I also agree with my colleague here. Yes,
okay.
I agree with him quite okay. And I think it's going to be a moral booster to that team. Do you understand? And some of the fans that have missed him for a very long time would like to see what he's going to do in the pitch. And, we have young players who he is their idol.
Yes.
You understand? So they would like to come and say, this is the Ronaldinho that we have been waiting for. And they will play with him and they will be happy. And in terms of that, a monetary aspect of it, like like Kola have said, there must be, there is this unique thing about, playing that team.
For the game.
You understand?
Yes.
So that these players, like me, I love him so much.
He'll be motivated.
Yes, he's a motivator. Do you understand? It's not the kind of player that is arrogant.
Yeah.
He's not arrogant. He's calm. Anytime he dribbles you, he laughs, and then he play the game. That makes people love him. So I think he's going to do something. Even if he's not that top, what is it called, play, but at least
he's going to do something. Yeah. So Ola made mention earlier of the struggles he had after his retirement. I mean, I saw him play in some friendly games, and he looked chubby. I would just use the word chubby.
Yeah.
But the picture I saw of him yesterday, we are seeing a fit Ronaldinho. He has slimmed down. And now the club has a target of gaining promotion to the Serie B. Do you think Ronaldinho gives them that boost they need?
Yeah.
To achieve that target?
When I started, I told you that the Europeans,
yes,
they have a way of putting themselves together. They have program. Even if you have retired, they do still play. Some of them gone into coaching, and why some of them decide not to go into coaching. Like Ronaldinho now that he knows that he's going to play for Serie A, he knows what football is. I know the Serie A team are even more tougher than the Serie B and Serie C.
Serie C teams are more tougher than the Serie B and Serie A teams.
Because those ones, they will rush you, they will not allow you to do those things, and then and then he, on his own, will have to put many into consideration. So that is why you said you saw him was
He was chubby and
but
now
he's
he's
lean.
fit
That
and
means
all
he
of
has
that,
gone to
yes.
gym, he has trained, and then preparing for the Serie.
Ola, do you agree with what Coach
Yes,
Jibril
yes,
has
I,
just
I,
said?
I agree. For every good leader, you must lead by example. I mean, you do not expect someone who has had the level of professional experience that he's had to turn up into the training ground with that kind of physicality. So he has to lead by example. And then I think the players that will be in the same team will be very excited to see him keeping fit. So how much more impact that image is going to cause within the team, seeing Ronaldinho putting in the effort. So it's going to inspire them a lot to play well and probably achieve the aims that they've set for this season.
So currently, Ronaldinho has a personal goal coming back to football. You mentioned it earlier, saying he needs just one goal, but it's actually not one goal. I did a little research yesterday, and I figured out that throughout his entire career, before he retired, he has scored 268 club goals.
Okay.
He's aiming to get to 300. So that leaves him with about, let's do the math, I think 32 or so. Do you think he's capable of meeting that goal?
He's not. I'm not going to say that. I think his own personal calculation is including what he has also scored for the Brazilian national team.
Yeah, but if we were to include that, he has surpassed 300
Yes.
goals.
So I feel like he's still going to score a lot of goals for this team.
Okay.
It is Ronaldinho we are talking about. He does not need to face the keeper to score. A simple free kick is a specialist in that, and then he's going to do his miracle. We've seen him do the same thing in those friendly games. So Ronaldinho, just expect magic.
Coach Jibril seems to agree with you. You have something to add.
I agree with Kola.
You agree with Ola. So you are on the side that Ronaldo is capable of achieving what he has set for himself.
Exactly.
Well, it's lovely and I think quite exciting to see Ronaldinho coming back to football. I believe you both wish him the best, as myself, we wish him the best. We hope to see him perform very well, and we hope to see the club achieve the goals they've set for themselves. Let's just quickly move on to our next conversation for the day, which is centered around Manchester United pursuit of Carlos Baleba, the Cameroon international. This has been a pursuit that has been going on for over a year now. Manchester United has been on his case, but I think last season, due to valuation issues, they could not get their man. But first and foremost, let's just speak on his performance last season. How did you see his performance last season, Coach Jibril? Let's start from you.
Well, I want to say he's a good player.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And when you see a club like Manchester United, going for him, you know that they need that player.
They've seen something
great in that player.
Interesting.
I think his last season was okay. And then
the injuries, the half-time substitutions and all of that.
When you see, that is why, I said something about this injury. Injury can come at any time. Even during warm-up, you can even have injury.
Yes.
And you say, that player is injured, cannot be featured in so game. Just yesterday, So with this injury, I think for them to have gone for him, they know what they are buying, and they have known the extent of the injury, that this injury can be managed. So I don't think it's going to be any problem for
him.
Yes.
Ola, you're a passionate Manchester United fan. Please don't get emotional.
I'm not going to do any of that. I like his profile.
I mean, you spoke about him on our last 2 shows ago about his move to Manchester United.
Yes, I like his profile. He has the qualities that is needed in this present Manchester United squad. He can cover a lot of ground. But based on the question you asked, I was not particularly pleased with his performances last season. And I could attribute it to Manchester United interest. He was really, really interested in signing for Manchester United. Reports are saying that he has already agreed personal terms over last summer, but the move could not materialize because everybody knows that Brighton plays hardball negotiation, always requesting exorbitant fees. But hopefully we can get him for a much cheaper price this time around. But he had a couple of underwhelming performances last season. I think about 3 to 4 times that he was substituted after the first half.
So
I think he's just thinking about Manchester United. So that's the psychological effect. If a team like Manchester United is interested in you.
So speaking about price, Coach Jibril, let's come back to you. We've seen the prices players move for these days in the Premier League. I mean, someone like Matheus Fernandes moved to Tottenham for over
£85 million.
£85 million after playing for
a player
a team
that's been relegated twice.
Now we are seeing Baleba, the proposed fee or the initial bid Manchester United has put in is about £60 million plus £5 million in add-ons. Brighton has not accepted, so we definitely expect the fee to be higher than that. Do you think that price tag on him is validated? Does he worth that kind of price tag given the caliber of player he is?
Let me tell you one thing you don't understand in football. Or let me say, I told you football is business.
Yes.
Let me buy this thing. In the nearest future, I will sell it above this thing. Do you understand? Okay, that is for that. But this Manchester United, they know why they are going for him. It's going to be a plus for them in that middle. Do you understand? The money does not matter. It only matters to the person that is selling.
Okay.
But the person that is buying, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not a problem to him because he knows what he wants to buy. Now, let me give an example of players who have injury. There are some players who have injury in one club. They continue having injury. But by the time they leave that club and go to another club, that injury subsides. Now, take example like Loftus-Cheek. It was in
Chelsea.
And he was very injured.
Do you understand? But when it came to Milan, it reduced.
Yes.
Do you understand? This is as a result of maybe the way they take care of him in England or compared to the way they take care in
Milan. Yeah.
They are two different things. So that's why you see players moving, even if as low as the fee, they can move. I said, let me just leave this club and go to this club. Now you're talking of this man that left
Fernandes that left West Ham to Tottenham for over £85 million.
He followed money. Maybe he's still looking at say, age is on my side, let me collect this money first. You understand? Or it could be, I love the Tottenham team, the way they play. The playing aspect of it in football, there's when you go to field to play, is different from the playing in the bedroom. Let me use that word. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Because we have administrative what's it called? Functions, and we still have the field function. If the administrative function supersedes the field function, it becomes a problem to a player.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And the money that they are now requesting.
Exactly. So you understand? So those are the things that you need to weigh. You see players moving from one place to another.
So, Coach Jibril, we'll be back to this. Let's just quickly go for a break. The conversation continues right after this break.
I'm busy. It's something we hear almost every day. Whether it's work, school, business, or family, everyone seems to have something to do. These days, being busy is often seen as a good thing. The busier you are, the more people think you're working hard or doing well in life. But that's not always the case. Being busy doesn't always mean you're getting important things done. Sometimes, We fill our day with so many tasks that we forget to rest, spend time with loved ones, or even take care of ourselves. We become so focused on doing more that we hardly stop to ask if what we're doing really matters. Working hard is important, but so is finding balance. At the end of the day, success is not about how busy you are. It's about using your time well and making room for things that truly matter.
Welcome back from that break. And if you're just joining us now, this has been Sport Decks on S24 Morning Digest. I've been having an interesting conversation right here in the studio with our special guest, Coach Jibril Abdulrazak, and as always, Olawale. We are back to the conversation once again, guys. So let's just quickly wrap up our conversation with Baleba before moving on to our final topic for the day. Do you think Baleba coming to Manchester United gives them the genuine push to be title contenders? We finished top 4 last season. Do you think Manchester United are now title contenders with this, if this transfer is completed, because it's not yet completed at the moment?
Baleba, with all due respect, Baleba is a very exciting player. He's got the prospects, but I don't think he's the kind of signing that you can make that kind of statement towards. Yes, he's a player that is still trying to make his own name. I mean, he was brought into the team to replace Moses Caicedo. He had a brilliant first season, maybe a little bit of an average or shaky second season.
Yeah.
And now the proposed move to Manchester United, which is something that is pretty much interested in. And I feel like it's going to be a significant boost to Manchester United midfield. But that signing is not enough to say that Manchester United will be title contenders.
Coach Jibril, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with him quite okay, because you see, like I said before, when you are buying a player from one team to join your team, you know what the reason why you are buying him. Maybe you say, oh, I can play this man from this place, play this man from this place, and then play this man from this. Then I have a good midfield to contain any defense. Oh, you can see Manchester United, where were they in the league last year?
They finished third.
Yeah. They finished third, but from where? From
I think about
11 or so.
Yes.
They move forward. They know what they are. They know what they want. Even with some.
Because don't you think they want to win the league this season?
That is why I said this guy is going to be a plus to their team.
Okay.
You understand? If they can, they just say, oh, we just need this. If we have this player with us, at least we know that yes, we have our midfield is sealed. Like what Kola said, it's not as if it's a what will I say? It's kind of super
yes.
At least it's going to be a plus.
Yes, to the team. Yes.
So, but you don't think he's coming into the team makes Manchester United title contender?
No.
There might be a good contenders.
Okay.
Yes, they might.
But this is not the sort of signing to make that kind of statement.
Okay. Ola, you made mention of we losing Casemiro, who had a lot of experience coming to Manchester United. And in one of our previous shows, you said you would love to see Manchester United sign someone with at least an experience level close to that of Casemiro. This seems to be the last midfield signing for Manchester United with what we've seen. Do you think they've brought in someone with that level of experience you were expecting?
No. But if we want to approach this issue with an holistic view, we can come to terms that Manchester United are not really short of experience in the midfield. We have Bruno Fernandes, we have Yuri Talisman, who has lots of Premier League experience. So bringing someone,
Mount.
Yes, we have Mason Mount, who also has an incredible level of experience in Premier League as well. So we are not too short of experience. But me, I would have just loved Manchester United going in for a player with much Premier League experience, because if you want to be title contenders, you cannot leave it in the hands of kids. I mean, the kids are doing well, but bringing in people that have that incredible wealth of experience, it increases the accountability and responsibility levels of the team, because you know you are not making excuses for them. They are coming in to deliver straight up. That is why I reckon with experienced players.
Coach Jibril, do you agree with this?
Yeah, I
Casemiro and replacing him with Carlos.
No, I agree with him, but I want to say, if you have Bruno Fernandes and
Talisman
and Mount, you still have a young player like what's it called?
This guy that just joined
Kobe
from
Mino.
Chelsea. We have Mino.
Yes, there's still Mino.
And
Do you understand?
Santos.
Yes.
So if you say you want to gather all
You
the
mix them.
experience, it's going to be a problem for you.
Okay.
Because now you have the experience, you don't have the power, you don't have the strength to contain.
So this signing brings a balance to the team.
That is just it. It brings a balance to the team. It brings a balance to the team whereby you see by the time they are playing, there are times you see you not even see Fernandez.
But Coach Abdul, is experience not the best teacher?
It is. Why is Modric not playing in Madrid today?
Well, he has had enough of his time.
Now he's been given 2 years contract in Milan.
But last season, Real Madrid also suffered the absence of experience and Modric's potential. You know, Modric was like their major creator.
But that because the coach did not look upward to get a player to replace him. That is just the truth of the matter.
That's very correct.
Do you understand? Okay, just like what is the guy? This guy that left Mayu,
Casemiro.
Yeah.
They are using this man to replace him, isn't it?
Yes.
Now you still have Bruno Fernandes and other guys.
They brought in Yuri Telles, man.
Do you understand that Premier League is not just one match?
Definitely.
You play FA, you play Carling Cup, you play the league, you still play Champions
League. Yes.
It's not easy for all these players to continue playing consistently.
Yes.
They will run out. So that's why at times you see them mix up, they shuffle, so that you get your team, you get the balance of your team. If not, you have problem with the team. And instead of you to go up, you become down. That what happened to Chelsea last season. You see them.
Yeah.
When you overhaul your team completely,
you burn them out.
It becomes a very big problem. Just like what Kola has said, you miss. When you miss, then you get a balance. And when you get a balance, then you are good to go. So it will not be that season. It may be the next season. You must do well in that first season.
Well, that's an interesting point Coach Jibril has raised. We looked at the Chelsea team's performance last season, filled with young players, and their performance was just... I know there were some other internal issues with coach being sacked and all of that. Does that change your mind with respect to what's your initial thoughts for Manchester United?
Well, experience is good. Yeah. So coach has made a very important point here in terms of mixing it. Experience alone cannot deliver it. You need that youthful energy also. So going back to the Chelsea point, Chelsea had young players, but it was very evident that there was lack of leadership. There was not that experience that could bring the players together, and that they ultimately paid the price with their performance last season. Yeah, so I think mixing it up is very, very important also. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to his contribution if the move gets through.
Yeah. Okay, Coach, you have something to say? All right, so we'll continue to monitor and see how this goes. Hopefully, before the end of today, we get the here we go from Fabrizio that the deal has been completed. Let's now quickly move on to our last conversation for the day, which still involves these clubs we have been discussing about. The Premier League starts this evening, the new season, the 2026-2027 season. Kicks off this evening with Arsenal playing Coventry City, newly promoted Coventry City. I mean, first things first, how do you feel? The Premier League is back. How do you feel?
Well, I'm excited. My weekends now will be much more interesting. If we're looking at the match as it's been displayed on the screen, I think it's
these are the fixtures from the top 4 teams, and
it's going to be a stroll for Arsenal. I mean, we've seen the quality, we've seen what they've been able to achieve last season. We've even had a reconfirmation of what the team is capable of during the Community Shield against Manchester City, which of course is another good team. But I think Frank Lampard, because he's the coach of Coventry City, we saw him going back to the second division to bring this team back to Premier League after lots of years. So I think they will try to make an impression, but they will just try their best. But I think Arsenal is going to win this encounter.
How do you feel about the Premier League's return?
Well, it's going to be an exciting weekend for everybody. You know, the weekend all this one have been dull. Not for the Nations Cup and then the
World Cup
World
that
Cup
just concluded,
that has concluded, and then the what is it called?
Friendlies.
WAFCON, yeah.
You understand? This is going to be exciting. I watched Arsenal against Man City in the
Community Shield final.
At Arsenal, they're on fire. They have a lot of options, from the goalkeeper
to the defenders
to the attack. You see, once team have options, you need to fear them. You need to fear them because they have, let's say, for example, somebody that is playing from, let's say, the attack, you have up to another attack that by the time they bring them in, you say, what is happening? These people I thought they will reduce their power, will reduce, but they keep on firing on. Then you need to fear that thing. Then in Coventry City, I think I really need to give kudos to Frank Lampard for him relegating and then bringing them back. Then Arsenal should watch out, because it's not easy for you to go to
championship
and then return the following season. You know, it's not easy. That means that team is good, and it's going to be a team to watch out. Thank you.
Ola, I mean, we've seen the fixtures we have here. Which of these clubs would you say have the toughest opening day fixture?
I'm going to say Manchester City.
Okay.
Bournemouth is a very, very stubborn team, and they don't defend against any team in Premier League. That's what they are known.
Coach has a different opinion.
My opinion is Liverpool and Newcastle.
Okay, well, I'm not going for Liverpool. I'm not going for Newcastle because they recently have a change in manager.
Okay, but
most of them,
Bournemouth did better than Newcastle last season. Okay. The new Liverpool coach was Bournemouth's former coach, Adoni Iraola. He is a coach that plays exciting football, all attacking, and that is what Bournemouth has always been known for. And if you look at Bournemouth this season, they've not really sold any of their significant player. So I know for sure that they are going to really trouble this Manchester City team, because they are also going through their transition period with a new coach, bringing in Enzo Maresca. But Bournemouth has always been a team. If you notice last season, they were one of the teams instrumental in putting down Manchester City and making Arsenal win the league. If you remember, towards the end of the season, so Bournemouth is a thorn in the flesh, and whenever they see big teams, they are always putting in their best. So I'm really going to be going for that encounter.
So before we get Coach's opinion on this, let's just quickly go for a break. The conversation continues right after this break. Welcome back from that break. We'll just dive right into the conversation once again, so you keep enjoying the discussion. Coach, let's now get your opinion on the question we asked. I mean, with all the fixtures you saw, the 6 fixtures from the top 4 teams, and Liverpool and Chelsea, who are unfortunately out of the top 4, you said Newcastle and Liverpool will be the toughest for you. Why?
Both teams, like I said, Newcastle, if you watch what they did last season, they are giant killers. You don't even expect them to win a match. You keep on suffering until maybe luck, you use luck to win them or whatsoever, maybe mistake also. But the Liverpool side last season were not too solid.
Yeah.
That is why I'm saying Liverpool and Newcastle.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because both teams, like last season, Newcastle beat Liverpool. They beat them. So, and they can still repeat it again.
This season.
Because the Liverpool
and they're even
team,
playing at home.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
And the Liverpool team, to me, this season, I don't.
But coach, don't you think Ola has a point? Because the Liverpool team now has a new coach, who was the former coach from Bournemouth. The Newcastle team also has a new coach who I personally don't know, and I don't know if you guys know about the new coach? So don't you think it's an easy one for
He's
Liverpool,
a coach that he's also an exciting coach. He did well in the Saudi Arabian League.
Okay.
He was first known in Stuttgart in Germany, and now he coached Al Ahly in the Saudi Arabian League, and they won the Asian Champions League. So it's not like he's just coming from
no club or so.
Yes. He's also an exciting coach, but everybody knows that Premier League is very, very challenging.
Very challenging.
Yeah, and in terms of experience, I think Andoni Iraola of Liverpool he has more Premier League. Has more Premier League experience than this coach. But Newcastle is playing at home, so you cannot really rule anything out. So if coach is picking that particular encounter, he's spot on.
With what I just mentioned, it doesn't change your mind.
Doesn't change my mind.
So you agree with what Ola says?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll see how the games go. But with all these fixtures you've seen, which team do you think requires a strong start? Manchester United, Chelsea.
Yeah, yes, Chelsea requires a strong start because they have a lot. They have a lot to prove this season.
London debut that
they have a lot to prove this season. Honestly. 2 teams, 2 new coaches, Alvaro Arbeloa and Alonso. Yes. But I'm going to get to my.
There's an interesting connection between those two.
Yes,
they got sacked from the same team, and now
yes, the same season for that matter.
Yes,
but I'm going to get to my very sentimental and emotional parts now.
Don't be emotional.
For Manchester United, I mean, like we did well towards the end of last season, and everybody saw since Michael Carrick came in, I don't think any team outperformed Manchester United in Premier League.
Yeah, well, the best performing team
based on Michael Carrick's performance coming in. Yeah, so he's been a brilliant manager for Manchester United, and he's also our legend. So this time around, I'm expecting us to take this game seriously. We've known Manchester United over the years to put in fantastic performances in games that you don't even expect them to win. And when you meet the small teams where you need to take the 3 points, then they will now falter. So I'm really expecting them to be serious with games like this, come in, get the 3 points, and let's look at what we have to do in the next game.
Coach, you made mention of Chelsea also requiring a strong start. Why? Is it the same reason with Ola, or you have
the same reason with Ola? But then I want to say, if I struggled last season, at least this season, I should be able to make it up to the top. Do you understand? Because at least I've gotten the players that I needed to execute.
And a good coach also.
Do you understand? So I don't see any reason why Chelsea will not be among the top 4
this season.
Do you understand? Because now they have reviewed their team.
No Champions League football too.
No Champions League.
Yes.
They only have FA and other this thing to play. So they need to concentrate.
The very large squad.
But coach, me, I don't wish Chelsea well.
He's a Man U fan, coach. Quick one, coach. Among all these teams in the Premier League, which team would you say you support?
I don't support any team in the Premier League. I'm not from the Premier League.
Oh, La Liga people.
My team is AC Milan.
Oh, wow, Ruben Amorim.
So that's my team. But honestly, in England, I always like when I see team, passing the balls and then scoring. There are teams that pass the ball, they don't score. I like teams that passing the ball. They pass the ball and then they score. And that is one of the team. That's why I love Man City when they play. I love Arsenal when they play. Because when you are playing, you always attack. You don't stop your attack until you get to that post. That's why you see Madrid. You can't take it off from them. You have 2 wingers who runs very well.
Yes, so very fast.
So you can't take it off from them.
Coach, you made mention of Arsenal playing the passing game and all of that.
And also attacking.
I think Ola has a different opinion on that. Ola doesn't seem to agree with Arsenal.
And he's a Manchester United.
Yeah, he thinks Arsenal.
Yeah, coach, I'm going to give you a reference now. This last Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal were very fortunate to score the very early goal. And look at what they did after scoring. They decided to defend all through. So that is one of the reasons why I believe Arsenal are not really an attacking-minded team until they face the smaller ones.
Now, let me tell you, the coach of Arsenal was wrong there.
Okay.
Because when you get a goal that maybe you didn't ever expect to get at that point,
yes,
keep on attacking. If you are attacking, you will be conscious of your defense. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Why? Because you may not have the defenders or the players to contain,
to sustain it.
Yes, the pressure of the opponent. Do you understand? So you keep on how can you defend from the first 6 minutes
till the end?
I mean, coach, if we were to dwell on this conversation, we would have to have a whole 30 minutes to talk on this. It's really an interesting conversation.
Yes.
But I mean, we've quickly run out of time. Let's just get a quick prediction before we round things off. Among these 6 fixtures you are seeing, who do you think wins which game, and maybe some draws in any of the games?
Well, for Arsenal, I think Arsenal is going to win. Okay. Manchester United will win. I'm predicting a draw for Brighton and Aston Villa.
Okay.
I'm predicting an upset in this Manchester City game. Bournemouth to win. Another draw in Newcastle game, and I'm predicting Chelsea to win.
All right,
yeah.
Coach.
Yeah, Manchester United, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man City, Liverpool, and then Chelsea.
So you're predicting a win
for all these
all the fixtures, and these teams you've mentioned will be the ones winning. Awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, it's been an awesome time having you here on the Sport Desk, Coach Jibril. Olawale, as always, it's been awesome having you here. Thank you, gentlemen, for gracing the show today. We've run out of time, but we would love to have such conversations with you, especially Coach Jibril, once again. And that's where we draw the curtain on the Sports Desk this morning. I remain your host, Udokan Godspar. And as always, thank you for spending your morning right here with us on S24 Morning Digest. To have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.